I wanted to spit my water out like Triple H. But then I realized I'm in front of a computer screen, so I swallowed it.
I hear you. And I'm sitting here checking the date and realize we're about to start. We're on camera, and what's happening? What's going on? Man,
it's Wednesday.
I cannot believe it is Wednesday. It is episode 51.
Crazy.
We're almost there. This is the Sandbox Podcast Network.
TSPN.
We are the Pay Window Podcast.
Notorious.
He
is
Vernon Somoza, the wrestling opiner, coming here to y'all chit chat, talk about that talk to stand on some business when we discuss this pro wrestling thing. What's happening, my boy, my man, here off to my side, off to my left.
Tennis elbow.
Touch that tip.
Wow. I did all those rotations. I heard a couple clicks.
There it is. The persuasive pontificator of phony pugilism. Frank Champion, what's happening, my boy?
I had to show the muscle real quick. You know, I had to,
the Tony Khan? Tony Khan, you tuck your arms under your elbows and press up on your biceps to make them look bigger?
Is that what you do with the fat? Is that what you do? Hold on. Is that the hack? Is that the meta?
Hack. That's the meta right there. Right. Tuck those arms. There we go. And lift. There it is.
And then you lift them? Holy poop. What? I never thought of that. I know this one, like the trap muscles. To make, look at that. You see that?
See, but now combine the traps with the shoulder. Combine the traps with the arms.
Oh, big Jack man. Hey. By the way, just want to let you know, you're gonna be proud of your boy.
What's going on?
2 years ago, I went to the doctor. Doc said, "Looks like diabetes is not working out for you right now, my friend. You are at 397 pounds." And I said, "Huh, Doc? How much?" He said, "You're 397." I said, "I've never been over 400 that I know of.
Yeah.
And I said, things got to change. So that was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I weighed myself yesterday, Vern. 337.
Congratulations, bro. That's huge.
You got me this shirt, right? Again, I'll put a round of applause on the.
That's right there.
On the edit.
Man. That's amazing, dude.
So Pete, you caught me this shirt. Shout out to you.
Yes, sir.
After I got you the hide the ball.
Yes,
you caught
sir.
me this Natural Disasters. It's a deep cut. For those who know, IYK. If you know, you know. Or IYK, right? I'm going to back up. This is a 4XT, Vern.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
I put it on for the first time about 20, 30 minutes ago when I said to go up, I had to go pee. I put it on. I said, man, this feels like a 5X. I'm going to try and bring the camera up. The shirt's loose on me, brother. Uh-oh. I think my camera just detached. The shirt's loose on me, brother. 4Xs used to be like this on me. Real high and tight and all that.
Yeah.
This thing is, I'm swinging. No shirt underneath, Vern. You know how big boys get down.
Hey,
no shirt underneath. 4X.
Shout out to you.
Oh, wow. That's a weird
look. Congratulations, man. That's awesome. That's worth celebrating right there. That's worth celebrating. Right. You did something huge, bro, especially for your health, for your life, for your family, for all the important things. As much as we love this wrestling thing, I'm so happy to hear that for you. Seriously. Congratulations, man.
No, we're good. So I tell you what, I'll tell you one thing before we get into the wrestling thing. I went to Dallas for my work, and it's real gun-ho, motivational. They do all these things to get you all ramped up. They tell you how we did for the year, what we strive to do, and blah, blah, blah. But one thing they do is they give you somebody who's a motivational speaker. And my company is big on sports, especially football. It's a Southern-based company out of Springfield, Missouri. Let's see if anybody can figure that one out.
Missouri.
So last year we had Terry Bradshaw, hilarious, but very motivational. He's talking about how we have to work as a team. This year we had a guy, his name was JJ Vernon. I don't know if you remember him. He's a wide receiver from the early 90s. He played with Joe Montana on the Chiefs when Joe was there. Then he played on the Falcons and played for a few teams, right? But his thing is he was the smallest NFL player at the time. He was 5'10", 155 pounds, playing wide receiver. So in the 90s NFL, when dudes like my size were linebackers, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm exaggerating, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he was always saying his main thing, and he talked for about half an hour. And motivational speaking, it doesn't inquire you to take in everything he says, but just one thing. Just take one thing that he gives.
Find a part. Yep.
And his thing was find your why, right? Because some lady was asking him, "Oh, you look so great. How do you do your workout regimen and all that stuff?" And he just stopped and went, "Well, why are you asking that question?" And he said, "You got to peel the onion. You got to peel the onion to find your why, because usually there's more than just one why. You've got to peel the onion, right?"
Absolutely.
Said, well, why do you ask about your workout? She's like, well, my health hasn't been that well lately, and I'm just looking to be better for myself. So he peeled the onion more. Well, why do you feel like that now all of a sudden? Well, because I have my daughter and I want to be able to play with my daughter. Well, why is that? And he peeled the onion back again, and the lady wound up saying, well, my mother died of obesity when I was very young, and I didn't get to have the relationship with my mother. And now that I have a child, I want to be there for my child in the long run.
Yeah.
And be able to watch her get married and watch this, that, and the third. And that stuck with me. That hit me hard. I was like,
yeah,
there's the why that for me, for my why for losing all this weight is clearly, I mean, obviously for my health. I want to be able to live. I'm 39. I want to double my lifespan. I want to live to my 78 at least. Right?
Yeah.
So the only way I'm going to do that, I don't know 397 pound 78-year-olds. You know what I'm saying? There's not too many of them. If they are, it's few and far between. Yeah. So I was just like, I need to have my reason as to why. My main reason is so I can see my little girl grow up, and she can always rely on her dad. And I can't do that if diabetes takes over or obesity takes over and ends my life early. So I'm all set. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, good. Listen, congratulations, brother. That's a tough decision, and it's for me, right? For me, back in the day when I had I was hitting my peak, right? Remember when I lost all that weight? That was for me too. It was just like and it's something, in my real life, right? Like it's what I wrote about in school. It was one of the things I learned about in my pursuit of getting my doctorate. Was just a lot of leadership, and a lot of what we do is just, if you can figure out your why, you can accomplish so much more.
So much more. Right? That's exactly what homeboy was saying.
Whenever you get frustrated, whenever you come to a point of like, I don't know what to do, go back to your why. Go back to your it's, I mean, listen, here's a unsolicited advice for our listeners, right? In the why. In relationships, friends, right? In marriages, and any relationship you have, in friendships. When you meet the difficulty and you think like, gosh, I can't stand this person, you go back to your why. Why am I friends with this person?
Why am I friends? Why? Right.
Correct. Because if that why is substantial, that why truly makes a difference, that why is something that matters, then you stick it through.
Of course.
If you don't, then the why really wasn't your why. Then clearly
the why wasn't the why, right?
There's another layer to peel back to find out your true why. Because when you find out your why, you can't be stopped.
Yeah, man.
So good for you, brother. I'm glad you figured that out. That's awesome.
Appreciate it. So I just want to shout out homeboy. I just showed it real quick. Shout out JJ Vernon. That's the man right here. That's him right there. Played for the Chiefs in the 90s. And then he played. I remember him on the Falcons more than anything. Sure. I remember this JJ Vernon here, playing with him in like Madden and stuff like that. So I do remember JJ Vernon. And big shout out to him. He was very, very good on his motivational talk to the entire staff of 8,000 plus leaders. They call us managers. There's 8,000 plus. Let me tell you one more thing about that, and then we're on. Let me tell you, I had to do, one of the managers that was with us wasn't feeling well, and I had a rental car, so I was able to drive him back to the hotel and drive back. So at the end of the night, they had this thing called General Session, where they gathered all 8,000 of us at the K. Bailey Hutchinson Civic Center in our convention center in Dallas, Texas. And they put us all in this big hall. It's like a huge hall. You can do whatever you want to it. It's just a blank space for you to do whatever you feel.
Sure.
Brother, I was walking in there and everybody had their seats, and I was getting in late, brother. I said I looked around, I looked left, I looked right. I said, man, this must be what it feels like to walk into the Tokyo Dome and do the entrance, because it was just heads. It was just heads seated, and it was just me walking. I swear, I put on my wrestler walk. I swear to you, I put on the wrestler walk as I walked by, and I'm just like, bro, this feels like an entrance. And we were at the front of the entire assembly that we were at, so I had a walk to go to. And I'm just looking around. I said, bro, this has to be a slither of what the Tokyo Dome must feel like. Because awesome. I wish I had my phone out.
What a feeling, right? Just to capture that moment and be like, yo, is this what it feels like to walk through and just be like, they're all here?
I said the only difference is it's a spotlight on the worker and everybody's eyes are on them. Instead, everybody was looking at the stage in front of me. But it felt the same exact way. All right. With all that banter out the way.
What's up?
I think it's time to get started, Vern. What do you think?
Let's talk about it, man. Let's talk some pro wrestling.
So normally,
second to last time, folks. Enjoy it. This is the second last time y'all be hearing us cover these topics, man. By the way, before we jump on that, how can these folk listen to us? By the way, let me just let y'all know how you can listen to us, catch up with us.
There it is.
So check us out. Audio version on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, and until it's dead, I guess, Radio Public.
I was hoping you were going to say that, because I think in about 2 months from now, Radio Public is no more. We got the email from our email page, our email address. I couldn't remember the word, telling us Radio Public would be no more soon and to switch to something else called Acast. So that might be something else we're plugging. But I'm starting to notice, Vern, our list is getting small. It's just Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, and you say Radio Public, you say Stitcher. So
we're slowly witnessing the industry changing. The industry is becoming. I mean, let's be honest. At this point, right? A podcast is saying I have a podcast. At this point, is like telling somebody I got a mixtape. Right? It's become the new mixtape.
Yeah, it's the new mixtape.
Like Linktree in my bio, right? The Linktree in my bio is the thing now, right? Oh, click my Linktree.
Click my Linktree, because I got a podcast, I got an OnlyFans, I got a YouTube channel. I got an Amazon wish list that I'd love for you to buy things for me. What else do I have?
Cash App. You got your Cash App. Just send me money.
Oh, yeah. Cash App me. Just send me money. It's my birthday. Send me $1. Send me $1. It's my birthday.
If everyone just sends me $1, you'd bless my life.
Yeah. You'd bless my day.
All 10,000 of my friends send me just $1.
Is that internet panhandling? That's definitely internet panhandling. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Everyone, if you can't come to my birthday, just tip me money on my Cash App and buy me a drink.
Yeah, sure thing.
I've seen it all, man, on the internet.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Amazing thing. Anyway,
absolutely ridiculous. So we're getting towards the tail end of our journey through the current events. We've gone almost 2 full years. We're getting there. Next week will be 2 full years where we have covered the current events of professional wrestling. So that episode, which will be 52, we will do a year in review. And I think this time around, we're just going to do it solo. I think last time around, we had Prof with us. But I think this time around...
it's supposed to be Shay and Prof. Yeah,
supposed to be Shay and Prof, but I think it wound up just being Prof. Shay had a little mix-up. I think something with the internet or something like that.
Yep.
So this time around, I think it's just going to be we're going to end that era with our era being completed. My man Vern, he muted it, but it's going to be on the audio version because I'm not deleting it.
No.
And he's hacking up along. Now I'll delete it. Don't worry about it.
I realized I should have deleted this microphone here. That way I didn't pick it up on my
you just hit the mute button. Nothing gets picked up.
Yeah.
That's how you do it. So as I was saying, episode 52 will be the year in review, which will be in the next 2 weeks. And then from there, we are jumping in to our time machine and going to hit, certain moments in time. And the first one will tell you it'll be more than one episode. That's why we said we're switching our format. It'll be Paul Heyman and the SmackDown 6. We just want to keep plugging that away. That will start with episode 53. I can't tell you how long it'll go because it all depends on what we find and what happens to pop up.
Absolutely. And part of that journey, right? It's going to be that folks, we're not going to cover every single hitting point. We're not going to cover it. We're not going to tell you blow by blow because we want to keep it unique to us, right? We're not trying to replicate the Laps fan. We're not going to try to replicate that,
we can't do that because listen. Let's first of all, the Laps fan does such an amazing job.
Yeah, absolutely. So like,
we couldn't.
Correct. We're
We could
admitted
match
fans
that.
of theirs, and we're admitted that we're trying to borrow an inspiration from them. Like they
Right.
inspired us to in the way we want to take it. But by all means, we just want to let y'all know off the top, y'all. We're not going to give y'all a blow by blow.
Yeah, you're not gonna get a 4-hour in-depth deep
Yeah,
dive. Maybe you'll
for
get
everything
2.
we watch. Yeah,
Right. You might get 2. If we stumble upon things, we'll obviously dive into it, but we're not gonna go
yeah,
7, 6 hours for one episode.
correct.
That'll never
And
happen.
as Franny and I talked about today too, right? Like a lot it's sobering to watch a lot of this stuff with 2024 eyes, right? It's sobering to see so much of it because so much of it that I remember being so fond of or that I thought was so great at the time. Now some of it I watched, like I told you today, I was doing some, I was watching some stuff up today, fell
Yep.
asleep. I
Fell
watched the
asleep.
beginning of it and woke up to a completely different episode, and I was like, yikes.
Yeah, like
Because
poop.
it's that excitement I used to get of like, oh man, I'm about to watch this. And it was like, oh, because some of the stuff was like, okay,
Yeah,
I guess.
I
What's
guess.
happening?
I
Yeah.
guess. So
But please.
we've gotta go through it to get to where we are. So to
Yes.
get to where we're gonna go in that journey. So
Correct.
I'm just gonna bring up those list of topics again so people can then have an idea on what we're gonna talk about. The list starts with not what we're starting with. Hold on a second. Hold on one
Here's
moment.
a summary of the list of topics we'd like to cover.
Yeah, so we're gonna go. I just got a text message from the wife, and it seemed concerning. So I just want to make sure I answered her immediately. So we're gonna go with the run of Stardust because you never got to see that. So
Nope.
Cody Rhodes' Stardust. We're gonna cover all that. I think it's about 2 years worth, but obviously we're not gonna go that in depth. But we will do a Stardust run. CM Punk's time in AEW. The early stages of NXT from 2012 to 2015, 2016 range. So that's the game show elimination NXT all the way up to when they
The
started to
forgotten
become
years to Super Indie.
right. So when they started to turn it from that into, okay, you're just dark matches before Raw and we're going to film, to right up to before whatchamacallit, like heavy metal indie NXT, like you said. So we'll do the beginning, like NXT Our Rival and those kind of shows, those first episode, like the first NXT WWE Network special. That's what I was looking for. We'll cover all that, but we'll get up right up until the indie darlings started showing up, and then we'll leave it be. That's one topic. So, and then the other one is the Godfather's Ladies of the Night offerings. Every time he came out and said, hey, instead of working me tonight, I got some girls for you. What you say? So we'll cover every one of those. That I think will be a fun one because
Sure.
that seems like a one episode quick banger, and then we'll just be like, all right, moving on to the next one. That didn't sound right how I just said that.
Well, I got you though.
One episode. Moving on.
I mean, I heard you.
Well, we'll be doing that Vince part later. I shouldn't have said that.
Hey now.
Ray's unmasked WCW run. I think that'll be another fun one. The TV show. Why are you doing that?
Man, WCW 2000 to revisit there again.
Are you ready? No, you're not. Let's see here. What else? Wrestling with Death, the TV show. We'll watch every episode. I think that'll be fun. Do you remember that one about the family who runs a mortician's office and runs wrestling shows in the area? I think that'll be fun to watch because those are like 30-minute shows. The 30-minute shows,
and honestly, I think I've only ever seen the first episode.
I'm a mark. I watched it all.
Oh, did you? I've only ever seen the first episode.
At the time, I was a big fan of reality TV and wrestling. So you put them together, there it is. So yeah, I love that trash TV. The Raw Underground segments, another one that'll be, I feel like, a quick hitter, one episode deal. We will cover these. I think I didn't mention before. The Invasion angle. I think that'll be a good one. From its inception until the actual pay-per-view. When we get to the pay-per-view, boom. The NWO Poison angle, I think, would be a good one.
Mm-hmm.
I also think
it's like the 2 months that they were around.
Right? Hogan's 02 run when he becomes the baby face. What do you think of that one? You ready to talk Hogan?
Brother,
through
I
through
watched.
TNH guys.
Oh, it was so bad. Yeah, we
Through
could talk
TNH
about
eyes. I mean, we just
it.
saw the beginning of it as we're doing the beginning of the Paul Heyman and the SmackDown 6. We saw a little bit of Hogan, and man, was it all about Hogan, huh?
Wait till you
uh,
watch the matches when you watch Hogan have to ride a bike to the ring because he can't walk there.
how about I want your thoughts on this one. AEW blackout lights out moments. Every time they shut the lights off to then put them on
It's
for something
too
else.
many. Too many a show. Too
That's
many a
perfect.
show.
Perfect.
It's too many a show. It's
A
man.
show.
Watch. You're okay. This is
I
gonna be one
can't
of the
wait
things
to
where
get
we're at
to it.
like moment number 427 of the time that the lights
And we're
went out.
still on the first month of AEW.
Yeah. All
All
right.
right. Here's another one. Jinder Mahal's championship run throughout the whole deal with TK and Jinder and all that slander.
No.
I said, yo, let's give the man Jinder some flowers because I liked his run. When I don't think you were watching. I think you were lapsed then.
Nope.
So
Yeah, but after watching Jinder now work, I actually went back. I saw a few Jinder matches. I have pretty firm opinions on why Jinder is a warm cup of oatmeal, a solid hearty bowl of oatmeal.
that's gonna be so fun to dive into.
Yeah. Like
Um,
he's not he has so much, but God, when the bell rings,
bye-bye. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
he is so boring.
Why do you think the Bollywood boys are with him? He needed those heaters.
But brother, like the punching and kicking's not, it's not even intense punching and kicking. It's just it's like he's like an actor. He's an actor who wrestles, but he has the look, he has the scowl, he has the promo,
the voice.
he can the voice, he has all the things that you're like, man, this guy could be a monster. But the
But
second the
then
bell
bing,
rings,
bing, bing.
he becomes the most mediocre, the most indie basic training
He's
school
a worker,
talent.
regular worker. Good
But
hand.
that's
He
just it.
becomes a good hand.
But that's just it though. It's not like a good hand. His punches are so blah. His kicks are so it even the match he had with Seth. Seth did everything he could to carry the weight of that on his shoulders. And Jinder with Seth was boring. Like, I don't know. It's weird. He's a guy who's like, he's all aesthetic. He has everything aesthetically, but the second that bell rings, it was like, where
Goodbye.
is this great heel champion that you could be and should be? And I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I'm interested in looking at his run because based on that one match I saw, I was like, okay, I get the Jinder thing. The Jinder's a great pro. I get it. I get the Jinder thing.
Jinder was a champ for a good amount of time too, several months.
Henceforth,
if I remember correctly.
I am interested to see how boring that run was.
Yeah. Here's one that I want to dive into and thank the Laps fan for this because I had no idea about it. Pro Wrestling USA, something that didn't last long. But I would like to dive into
Pro Wrestling USA.
I've never heard of it until the Labs fan brought it. I was like, Pro Wrestling USA, what's that? And I Googled it and I was like, oh, these guys were trying to combat Vince at a very early age, at a very early time, and it didn't work. So I would love to dive into like those 2 years or year and a half it was a thing. And just to see, what shows they ran, stuff like that. Even if we don't get to watch it, even just like diving into articles and finding stuff like that, that'll be fun to try and find.
Got it.
And then this one I just brought up to you not too long ago. Marty and Sean after the barbershop window promo and how they go their separate ways.
Sure.
And then we can then dive into the topic of should we be calling tag teams that split? Who's Sean? Who's Marty? And we'll stop right there, Vern. Don't get into it because I know it's going to turn into a whole different conversation piece. So,
sir, got it.
We're 23 minutes in.
Yeah, man. But just to preview as a little sampler, friends, of just what we're really hoping to do and the direction we're going. And also next episode, by the way, a sneak peek. If you've listened this far into the episode, I hope you're 21 and over for the next episode because, friends, it's going to be the alcohol episode because we're going out with a bang.
So when we do that episode,
I don't know how we're going to form it. I had to ask you, what are we going to play a drinking game while we're producing an episode? Like, what are we doing here?
I don't know, but the drinks will be poured. Okay. I think I'm going to put the duck to sleep that night.
Okay.
Because once the alcohol starts flowing out, I can't stop what I'm going to say.
I mean, I'm just saying, like that's we're gonna have to figure that episode out because that's gonna
It's
be
gonna get
wild.
dangerous. Hopefully, something amazing happens within the next 2 weeks, and we have something really good to talk about. Really good.
Sure,
You know what I mean?
sure.
I'm really hoping
Yeah.
in this world of wrestling, something can happen tomorrow. So
As we'll see, as we'll come to talk about
right,
tonight, man. A lot of things can happen in 24 hours. The world of
right,
wrestling can change, and
exactly.
hopefully,
I
what
mean,
we hope to do and we hope to continue to do is bring y'all a perspective. And just as Franny and I've been talking tonight, we talked about before we got on, just to
yep.
bring on a different perspective. Bring on a perspective that doesn't necessarily try to look at the thing straight on, head on, just as fans, but sometimes step back and go, huh, there's got to be a bigger picture at play here. There's got to be something more going on
Something,
here.
yeah,
And we're
something,
hoping to
something.
just keep offering y'all that perspective that there's a look here, something to talk about here. And maybe we're all not looking at this in the same way because boy, oh boy, in the last 2 weeks that we haven't talked about wrestling, have opinion been the prevalent thing that's running the news media. Um, Headlines that's it. People are fighting for headlines. People are fighting,
Yeah, all clicks and views and all that. Oh yeah.
and man, there is this of all weeks is a week that we're coming to talk to y'all about some things that are going on. But Franny, take us away, my boy. What are we talking about this week?
So normally we end the show with wrestling.
Yeah,
So what do you think we start the show with wrestling? This is
let's
the
go
only
then.
real inkling of actual in-ring wrestling that we're really going to talk about tonight. Everything else is pretty much outside the ring, but around the ring. And then one is way outside the ring, like way got no business being even around the ring or even being done at all. But that's neither here nor there. So let's talk about wrestling, shall we?
Let's do it.
The Rumble. Ooh, let me get the card up. The Rumble has concluded, ladies and gentlemen. This concluded on January 27th, 2024 in St. Pete, Florida at Tropicana Field. We had an attendance, Vern, of 48,044. And if I'm not mistaken, that's the highest attendance record for Tropicana Field, home of the Miami Marlins or the Tampa Bay Rays, because St. Petersburg is near Tampa, not Miami. Miami plays, I think, at Minute Maid or something like that. I can't remember. We had 48,000 in there, you know. I don't know if there's an actually. I don't know if WrestleTix debunked the number. Who knows? Maybe it's not in time yet. So where are we at here? Sure, I'm sure you can.
No.
We had a stacked card, Vernie. 4 matches. And I think we knew these 4 matches when we did the preview. And we were like, oh, maybe they'll add one. Maybe they'll add 1 or 2. Maybe add a segment. No, 4 matches. They gave us 4 matches. I'll go through the card really quick. Bayley won by last eliminating Liv Morgan in the 30 women Royal Rumble match for the Women's Championship match at WrestleMania 40. That match took 1 hour and 5 minutes. Roman Reigns retained his undisputed WWE Universal Championship in a fatal 4-way match in 19 minutes and 30 seconds against AJ Styles, LA Knight, and Randy Orton. In a singles match for the WWE United States Championship, Logan Paul defeated Kevin Owens by DQ in 14 minutes. And in the main event, Cody Rhodes won by last eliminating CM Punk in the 30-man Royal Rumble match for a World Championship. That's weird how they put that. 8 minutes and 25 seconds. What a card, Vern. What a card. Would you say that?
Yeah.
Smallest Rumble card ever? Or was the first Rumble just the Rumble? Right?
No, because remember the first Rumble was a TV special. Well, no. The first
on
Rumble,
USA.
that was the first televised one, but the very, very technically, the first ever Rumble was a house show special.
House shows. I'm talking about the televised one.
Yeah, the first televised one, was a USA special. Remember, because WWE,
and I think
it was USA.
I just want to make sure there was 4 matches, brother.
Oh, was it? Okay.
And it seems like the Rumble wasn't even the main event. Yeah, Steamboat beat Rick Rude. The Jumping Bomb Angels beat the Glamour Girls. Duggan beats One Man Gang in the 20-man. Mm-hmm. And then the Islanders take on the Young Stallions in a 2 out of 3 fall match.
Okay.
So it wasn't even the main event of their own special.
No.
Kind of crazy.
Well, first time they ran it.
Yeah, and that was a 4-match card. And that was on TV. The very next one, 2 dark matches, 4 matches, so a total of 6. I mean, I'm not gonna go through them all, but
no need
it's
to.
there's no need to. It's very reminiscent of, I mean, 5-match card and then the Rumble, 5 and then the Rumble. So, and the one that I have on my wall from January 19th, 1991, 7 matches. So I don't know. And then we all know as we go through the Attitude Era and we get to the 90s, those cards turn into 6-7 match cards throughout the entire time. That's why I said, man, this feels a little different. The fact that it was only 4 matches, because it made you pay more attention to what mattered, which was the Rumble. The Rumble were the 2 most important things that night.
So yeah, I do appreciate that the focus on the Rumbles definitely felt heavy. It felt like everything coming up to this Rumble, every babyface, every promo we heard about, everybody was always talking about the Rumble. The Rumble.
Yeah, everything that mattered was the Rumble, and that was it. You know, nothing else really mattered. Can I full screen this? Nice. Nothing else mattered. I can't say nothing else mattered. The 4-way for Roman mattered, and the tournament for Logan mattered. But that seemed to be the only 3 major stories going into this pay-per-view, or 4 if you count the 2 Rumbles, right?
Yeah, that thread, the definitely in the Raw and SmackDown's coming up to this, the thread of each show was about the Rumble and getting people to the Rumble. And I think it's something unique because in the past years, right, you'd always have, like, you know, the prevalent story. There was always the big main event, which was going to be the defense of the belt, whatever. And I thought that what a different style of booking we're living in, right? We're living in such a different era of wrestling where the story's being told. Where, you know, Cornette was saying, he made a joke about it, but he was talking about how, like, the matches are kind of just the in-between of getting to the next talking segment.
Yeah,
you know? But in reality, wrestling where you can get the personalities over strong and the actual physicality doesn't necessarily have to be car crashes. It's a good thing, because then you know that the people are there because they're into the gimmick, they're into the pro wrestling aspect of it. They're not just into the you know, you gotta show me that you can shoot and show me you can do a Hurricane Rana to the outside.
Yeah, you can do a Poison Rana and break ankles and stuff like that. But let's not do that. Let's not do that. We're not here for that.
Let's not do that. No, man. But it really, it was a great show. So it was not me to say that. The women had a great Rumble. The Roman Reigns match was a predictable ending. It was kind of cookie cutter, but I liked
it.
No,
we'll get there. There.
I liked it, but it was a predictable ending. I mean, it wasn't anything that was shocking, or wasn't something that they wouldn't have done. But I liked how they did it. The presentation of it was well done.
We got to where we needed to get to.
Correct.
But we'll continue on. Continue on.
The internet, a lot of people loved the Logan Paul, Kevin Owens. Everyone kind of just put that as being like that was the best wrestling match on the show, on the card. I thought it was a great showing. And then the men's Rumble was okay. It wasn't the most exciting men's Rumble because I think that his fans were spoiled. We've been spoiled with so many Rumbles where we had so many appearances.
Spoiled rotten, bro.
We're spoiled rotten, and that's it. And I can admit that we're spoiled rotten, and we all wanted surprises. We wanted legends. We wanted all this stuff, but they never told us they were getting me to that. And we were expectant of it. And the women's Rumble gave us a lot of surprises, a lot of moments, a lot of different unique things. The men's Rumble gave it as well. But they were good. It was good. It was a good show. I enjoyed it. Overall, I enjoyed the show, man.
I enjoyed the show.
I didn't find myself drifting off or complaining or saying like, no, I hate this.
Yeah, I didn't hate anything. There was nothing I saw that night that made me go, that sucked.
This was awesome. This was awesome.
Apparently, she was supposed to stay up because afterwards, Asuka was left on the outside on her own, and you could see her mouthing, come to me, or like eliminate me or something.
Yeah, so, but the fact that she held on, that's like the Spider-Man pose. Someone made the joke of her being the Spider-Man pose.
Yeah. When I saw her do that, I said, how in the world is that even possible?
Okay, so I heard Don Tony surmise that he thinks there was handles there. I think she just grabbed the apron and she just she's holding on for dear life.
Upper body. That's all upper body.
That is insane. That is Olympic rings level of you're just holding yourself the rings. Like she is doing the Superman pose on the rings. And it's
Yeah,
like,
no.
holy heck, what a spot.
Yeah, absolutely amazing. Shout out Jordan Grace. She did amazing in the Forbidden Door debut for TNA Superstar.
By the way, what Triple H said, I'm not going to call it that anymore. This is dumb. It's just dumb.
It's just silly to call
Oh,
it
the
that.
rage that he did it. He knew what he was doing. What a spot
Jordan
for her to
Grace,
get out. What a highlight for her to
Jordan
get eliminated.
Grace did a great job of saying, okay, if I'm going to get bumped out, I don't know if she came up with it or who came up with it. This is a smart way for her to go out. She went out with a bang. If you ever
She went out
noticed,
to the champ, to the best female wrestler on
she
the
went
card.
out to late. I call her Lady Cena at this point. She's
Yes.
she's the white meat baby face that the company is behind. She's Lady Cena right now. That's how I look at her. So what better way than to go out to her? So that was big on them for that. Yeah, look at her bumping out. Oh, that's a good shot. I like that shot. Chelsea Green, amazing in the Rumble. How she just kept bumping for everybody.
Her comedy so I'm not typically a guy I'm typically a guy who complains about a lot of stuff, but her comedy had me actually laughing. I thought her facials, the way she would fall into the spots, it didn't at no point. And I feel myself going, oh my God, why are you doing this? It was like, yo, she actually made me laugh when she was just getting caught up in stuff. Like, she killed it. Her facials were on point.
I think what made it work is because the ha-ha was in the action. It wasn't like, we'll talk about that in a second. It wasn't like our Truth, where Truth is just ha-ha funny, right? Her ha-ha was in the middle of the action where she kept bumping, and then she was her and Nia Jax, and she, are you looking at the Maxine thing now?
Yeah. Just seeing the picture reminds me of just the awkwardness of this spot.
I would say this is probably the worst part of the Rumble, but we'll get to that in a second. But the stuff that Chelsea Green did that kept her relevant in the Rumble all the way up until she got eliminated, money for her and money for that character. Maxine,
she's ready for a singles run.
Chelsea, yes.
She's ready for a singles run.
She can have the belt and be that heel that's always complaining and griping about something and be that ha-ha funny. I think it'll work. I think it could work. She'll get there eventually. I believe so.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this Maxine spot. Why'd they go to it twice, Vern?
Because Maxine's green. Maxine's green.
I think Bayley really wanted to get this over for her, and I'm sure they practiced this a bunch of times and it was fine. And then they did it live and it didn't work. And I think they should have just abandoned it after the first time. Because even the second time, it looked just as worse.
No, the second time was even worse. Because
I mean, that's what I meant. That's the second time was worse.
Yeah. Oh, the second time when she held Maxine up, and Maxine, God bless her, perfect form. She's a cheerleader, right? She did. So she's a dancer. She had perfect form, and she was like this, but it was like, but she looked like she was figure skating. She didn't look like she looked like a luchador, like she was just. And it was like,
and to be honest, real quick, Vern, why is she learning that?
Because it's right. That's like
it's easy.
And those are those spots in wrestling that they stand out, right? Like, oh, you did the spot where you got to, you got the
spin and twirl.
You got the spin and twirl. And I'm sure it looked good in practice, but in a Rumble, in a ring full of people,
when you're not supposed to be bumping like that anyway, positioning is always screwy because of that.
Correct. Like it
doesn't
look
just
good, felt like you went for it once. Like, yeah, I felt bad for her. I was just like, I wish they wouldn't.
Because that was her spot.
Yeah.
She had nothing else.
That's my favorite. Isn't that so great? The Rumble.
Yeah.
The Rumble is the ultimate. Here's your shot, kid.
I got to get my issue.
What are you going to do with it?
Yeah.
What are you going to do with it? And
there was a lot of miscues between the ladies in a lot of spots, but even the men were having trouble too. But it's a Rumble. I think that's the problem. When you overbook a Rumble and you got all these people bumping around and stuff, it gets tough. I've been in enough of them. It gets tough. I couldn't imagine on the grand scale. You know what I mean? And the big show.
Okay.
It gets tough. Speaking of
Nia was an MVP of this Rumble. Y'all got to give Nia her flowers, bro. When they was all going to get her all out, as she was just yelling and screaming and pushing, and she kept flexing to the crowd, fam, the fact that the crowd legitimately booed her.
Yeah.
She got she got something that 90% of the heels in wrestling can't get, and that's heat.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't get cool baby heel heat, and she didn't get, oh, we're gonna play along, we're gonna just boo her because that's what we're supposed to do. She got Nia, I may knife you if you come close enough. Like I may take a swing if you come close enough heat.
Right. I might
And
swipe
it was
at you.
amazing to hear her just getting heat and see her eating it and feeding off of it. And like Nia showed out this night. I really was
Right.
thought she showed out.
I stopped here for just a second and we'll move on. Shotzi's appeal might be children. Look at the look on this little boy's face as Shotzi's going by.
I guess
it might be children.
I guess,
because as an adult, I do not care about Shotzi. I didn't care about
but
Shotzi.
there's something there.
Blackheart.
The tank,
There's
some
something.
merchandising
That's
thing.
why I
said.
That's why I said maybe, because I mean, look how locked in this child is. Maybe he was like that to everybody, but I mean, the smile on his face. That's why I said her appeal might be the kids. You know,
and I'm sure there's a demographic of male who likes that,
the look, that look and stuff. Yeah,
that aesthetic.
Sure,
yeah.
This was funny because Shotzi almost met the spot, and you could see Nia on the ground go, no. I don't know if you caught that, but Nia immediately is on the ground, and Shotzi's trying to pick her up before she does the caterpillar, and Nia's on the ground just laying there like she's getting her head picked up, and she's like, no. Camera cuts away, and she starts the caterpillar. Let's see. Moving on. There's your spot right there you're talking about. Where she bum rushed everybody. Here comes the man. Yeah, they started going. So yeah, we were good here. I mean, like you said, good rumble. Here comes Truth. The whole deal with Valhalla.
So the Truth, you know what? The Truth spot. The first time I saw it, I didn't like it.
No,
like the first time he did it. The second time I watched it, I was like, oh, okay. Because the first time, you know what? The Valhalla thing. I wish it would have been someone else with Valhalla. The Valhalla thing was like,
why not her?
What? I don't know, man. Something about Valhalla to me is just like, it's not a character that's done anything.
Okay, but what would she have done inside the Rumble? She never interacts with the women.
I mean. But that's what I mean.
It was perfect for her because she has no business. She doesn't interact with the women on screen.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. Like but our Truth coming out, right? It's like, Franny, in the world of kayfabe, right? A women's Rumble. He was number like 18. Like, dude, it was like, come on. Like, just that was the thing where I was like, I hated the fact because initially I just hate the fact that they used him here because it was funny. But then again, it's just like, but you're number 18 though. Like 18 other women have come out already. What do you mean? What number? What do you mean? We're the men. It was like, were you not paying attention? Your music hit R. Like, again, just all like those logic gaps. It's just like the logic gaps to get here is
plot
rough.
Plot holes. There's plot holes. I get
the plot holes. It was funny, but it was like,
okay, this doesn't make sense. But that's okay.
This was comedy. This was comedy for the pure sake of comedy.
That's why I said Chelsea Green's spot was better.
That's why I didn't like it. That's why I didn't like it though, because it wasn't Chelsea Green. Chelsea Green's was comedy that, like you said, it was in the match. It was in the context of wrestling. This Our Truth was literally
funny. This is funny.
But funny in the sense of like, I ripped my pants, SpongeBob.
Yeah, like, I slipped out of
my shorts. I ripped my shorts. Yes, this was whoops. I ripped my shorts. Like,
let's talk about her, and then we can move on.
Oh, Jade
Cargill, bro. Talk to me about it real quick, because I think that's the only thing I really wanted to touch on. Please have a shot of the shot that I want to see.
Her picking up Nia. Look, see her smiling.
I wouldn't call that smiling. I'd call that wincing. I kind of do the same thing. I got big cheeks.
I hear you. I
call that wincing.
I'm telling you, when you watched her work, she kept doing this.
You see it here. You see it here.
I promise you, she's always, and it's not bad. Like I told you, it's not a bad thing, but it's like, all right, but you got to start working that out though.
Yeah.
You can't always be smiling.
They already. Oh yeah, they don't have any other shots. I was hoping they had different shots of her.
They didn't do the Bianca and her face off.
Yeah, I was hoping they had the gorilla press together. Yeah.
Yeah, what a shame.
That's what I was looking at. Because there was a good. I know there's something you could even the E when it comes to production. They're so smart. They moved their cameraman into position. He was right here. If you can see it on my mouse, down bottom left.
Yep.
Bianca was there. Jade was there, and the WrestleMania sign was in the shot. The crowd was hot. They started getting up, and the camera captured it all. And it was like, oh my God, potential WrestleMania match. It already got your brain bubbling. Like, ooh, could this be the match at Mania? I could see that.
The way they drop the breadcrumbs is awesome.
Yeah, it's amazing. Amazing. Is that the end of it? No. Oh, there it is. Here it is. Here it is. Here it is. We were just talking about it. Please have that shot. Nope. But that's the shot they have.
Yeah.
Listen, they can make some serious money together. They can make some serious money together, without a doubt. Maybe we said Bianca's Cena, Bianca's the Hogan. Jade's that monster heel that could come in and do what they want as a formidable opponent for Bianca. So I'd like to see it.
And by the way, for the just a quick comment for the IWC that is complaining and says that Bianca should cut her hair and turn heel. The fact that there are so many photos of little girls with the hat with the braid in at the Royal Rumble show, the meet and greet, there was like just lines of little girls with that on. And I just, like you just said, the female Cena, right?
The hair.
Oh, on the Fickle Mistress was all like, "Oh, I'm so tired of this.
And her sometimes.
This is like how cliche is this thing? When is she gonna get rid of the hair thing?" They're all complaining about the Tiffany Stratton spot. That's like, it's so ridiculous, and it's just becoming, it's like
her
how
pulling on her hair,
and how corny it's becoming at this point. Like, what are we gonna keep doing this whole thing? That they need to refresh her gimmick and turn her heel and cut her hair, but. I just want to say,
if she does it, man, I wish the hair is back. She needs to bring the hair back.
No, when I seen because the way you just said the female Cena, when I seen all the pictures of the little girls and like all the press stuff, all the little girls with the just like, bro, little girls of different races, shades, colors, sizes.
Don't matter. She's got
it was like a red hat that had the long braid in it, and all of them just next to her, all of them just smiling with their faces on. It was like, what? Why would you turn her heel? Why would you turn her heel?
Little girls when I went to a house show that had the Bianca stuff, and all Bianca did was a run-in on that show. The people lost their mind. She is Lady Cena at this moment, bro.
Yeah.
No disrespect to any of the girls that are on the roster because they all do great jobs.
I thought Liv was there. Liv was there, and then but remember Liv, because Liv's been doing Make-A-Wish for a minute. Liv has been leading the Make-A-Wish, and I was like, man, she's trying to become that Cena role of like being that ambassador who finds herself doing everything. That drug thing, though, that bud thing, really did a wrench in for her, man.
Yep.
It slowed her down.
So, like, what's so bad about this spot? IWC the Fickle Mistress just want to complain about something. I like the final three. I love the go home. Everything about the go home was great. Oh, and just to let you know, Vern, I called it.
Yeah. And it's funny, and I was telling you, after this, I asked Prof. I was like, oh, Prof, Bailey's going to win it. Because he asked me, he was like, who's your pick? And I was like, Bailey. I was like, I started off with Becky. I was like, but it's going to be Bailey. After watching the last couple of TVs, I was like, it's going to be Bailey.
And there it is. There's the point. I'll be honest with you, Vern. I really want to just focus on the rumbles of the Rumble. I think the fatal, like you said earlier, you pretty much wrapped that up. The fatal four-way was what it was.
Yeah, it was predictable.
It
wasn't a bad predictable, but it was an ending we all knew was going to happen.
Right.
We all figured out it's going to be your typical three-way. What happens in a three-way? Two guys are going to get pushed out. One guy gets eliminated. Two guys, right? Like it's the same thing in a four-way. In a four-way. It's the same finish all the time. One guy gets incapacitated. The other two guys get busied. Opportunist sneaks in with the run-in, so they're occupied. Like they covered all the bases.
It was great. I just want to ask you about the finish. Roman, this was the first time you saw in a very long time Roman in peril. Excuse me. Even after his heater comes out, the heater he messes himself up, puts himself through the barricade, right? There's opportunity now for one of these baby faces, three of them, to finally take this belt away from this guy. And they all get a chance, and they all blow it. Randy gets bumped down, right? LA Knight's ripping and running. AJ finally gets back up to his feet. He gets caught. Oh, great job on AJ, because I believe that was real. I believed it was real the way he fell. 100%. My wife even went, oh my God, is he okay? And I'm watching, I'm like, nah, he's good. But but at least 10 seconds, I said, oh, damn, I hope AJ's okay. And if I'm saying that, got him. To turn that into the spear, and then I think the Superman punch for the go home on LA Knight, after LA Knight literally was about to hit his finish, pushed away, down goes AJ, spear, Superman, Roman goes home. But Roman was in peril. Roman had to do it by himself. Yep. What we've been talking about for an entire year, Vern, what we said needed to happen in order for Cody to finally finish the story is starting to happen. Is it not?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, so, yeah. Every come on, man. Everything we said. It's funny. Like, I look back because remember a year ago, we were like, oh, Cody's remember we were like, oh, Cody's gonna win the Rumble again. He's gonna win the Rumble a second time.
Had to, right?
A year ago, we called it. This was gonna happen. And that's why, and we never thought Punk was gonna come back. That's why I wonder if Punk was supposed to win this Rumble. Right? Like, I wonder if Punk was supposed to win this Rumble or if the plan, right? Like, and the plan changed because the in my mind, I was like, you got Cody's going to finish his story. Then Punk was supposed to win an Elimination Chamber. Like you said in that promo yesterday, he was supposed to win an Elimination Chamber. And then from Elimination Chamber, Punk was supposed to move from there on to Mania. But now with all the injuries that we're talking about, right? With the injuries that happened, I wonder if we find ourselves at this is going to push the plan back to SummerSlam.
Oh my God.
Because Punk's out for 4 to 6 months.
Brother.
You don't think they're going to push
talking about?
For Punk and I don't think Punk and Seth will be for the title anymore. I honestly, after Punk got hurt this last
Punk
time.
And Seth? No, yeah. I think we pivot. I think Damian takes it off of him. Maybe at Mania.
Yeah. Oh, I think Seth is definitely going to perform at Mania this year. But I think Punk and Seth having that match, I think it won't be for this belt. And I don't think Punk will ever win the belt again, actually.
Let's just think about Seth's recent feuds. Shinsuke, you're back. Right? Works Drew, gets Jinder, the knee. Right? Our champion is starting to get vulnerable now. Right? Our babyface champion is starting to get vulnerable. But
this last one was real, though. But this last one he actually did injure himself.
Well, yeah, of course.
Okay, it's the same knee. I was like, unfortunately, the difference in this one is that this one he actually did injure himself. This last one, it wasn't
right, but he's still going to work. It seems like he's still going to work
because it's only a stage. It's a stage 1, whatever there. So apparently, like is it stage 3 or stage 1?
I don't know.
It's a grade 3. It's not the worst. It's like the grade 1 where like you can
like the lowest grade. It can
that you can work. They only rehab. You don't need rehab. You don't need surgery. That's technically
surgery. You don't need time off. Okay, so then that's good. So.
Or he does need surgery, and it can be well in like a 2 weeks or something like that, 2 to 4 weeks.
So we were supposed to get Punk Seth, right?
Yeah.
How has it not become Drew Seth now at Mania?
Oh, 100%. Oh, Drew's the man. I think Drew's winning it.
Drew's the next guy up.
Yep.
Drew can win it. Priest can then cash in. Or what if we see what he did at Mania? What was it, 30? When Seth ran down? Not 30. That's Daniel Bryan's.
And yeah. The Priest
Seth ran down, made it a triple threat match.
That could happen.
What if Priest cashes in, makes it a triple threat, pins Seth? Right when Drew has the chance to win, Drew gets screwed again. And here's our conflict. They've already got brewing conflict from the War Games, from the Rumble. Priest and Drew been beefing.
Mm-hmm.
Damian's now the reason why Drew is no longer the champion.
But or how doesn't win the title. But I guess the only issue I have with that is I see Damian going babyface before it's all said and done with. Yeah. I see Damian breaking out because Damian has to break away from the Judgment Day and go babyface.
He wins.
That's what I'm saying. I just don't see. So I like your plan, but I don't see how Damian becomes babyface in that plan because he has to beat the babyface champ.
Then he has to beat Drew.
That's what I mean. Drew has to take the title, and Drew has to be the heel with the belt, and then Damian has to cash it in. But I'm like, dude, does they have enough time for that?
Maybe we shall see.
Or does Drew beat Seth, and then Damian cashes in on Drew? And then Damian takes it off of Drew. But would that make him the heel still?
Oh.
Right?
Damian cashing in on Drew?
Yeah.
Well, if it's done at Mania, it's going to get a ridiculous pop anyway. Because don't forget, Ziggler was a heel when he cashed in on Del Rio.
Yeah.
And the people lost their mind because they wanted to see Ziggler cash in. People love the cash in, whether you're babyface or heel. That's what I noticed. People love the cash in.
Do they save it for the night after Raw?
I don't
Does the
know.
cash in get saved for the night after Raw then? If
I
they don't pull
think
the trigger at
Damien's had it
Mania?
so long, and I don't know. I think you do it there, especially with no Punk now, because I think Seth, like we said, Seth Punk is the thing.
Yeah,
I don't think
Punk
we
getting
get that
hurt,
now.
with Punk out and Seth being hurt, and then now trying to give Seth some time. I think it really that messed up some of this booking that we were going to see. That messed up some of the story that was going to be told.
For sure. Let's talk this Rumble now.
Oh wait, no, hold on. Before we get there, before we just get to that Rumble.
We got to talk Logan.
Yeah, man, Logan. That match. What a fun pro wrestling ending.
All right, let's.
What a fun pro wrestling finish! Like that was
that the Fickle Mistress did not like, right? The Fickle Mistress did not like.
Oh no.
No, but the ref never notices the brass knuckles. How come he noticed it now? Because he's a human being with eyes. And he was counting and saw something glimmer in the light and said, "Wait a minute, what's that?"
All of a sudden, WWE refs can see the objects. All of a sudden, WWE refs can do their job. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. They're not Rick Knox and wants to do swanton dives over the top rope. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, my refs don't do that.
It was interesting how the Fickle Mistress did hate that finish, and I was like, "What a pro wrestling finish!"
It was awesome. I saw that and I was like, "Yes, that was amazing." That finish, because Logan has no business beating Kevin Owens, no matter that he's the champion. You don't want to bury Kevin Owens by losing clean. How do you continue to have Logan win? By DQ. By DQ in such a nasty way that it makes you hate Logan more. I've never seen that finish. Oh my God, the ref saw it. Not on the ground, not on the floor. Perfect example. My match that I last had against Johnny Pierce. The brass knucks were on the ground. What did the referee have to do? Because it was supposed to be tucked in his pants. What did the referee have to do, Vern? You were there.
I had to physically shoo him away himself, brush them away.
As he slid in, right, he knocked them out of the way so he wouldn't see it. So he made physical contact with it, but had to be that dumb official that every referee in wrestling has to be and ignore it. Yep. Not this guy. This guy said, "Wait a minute. I see it." Okay. Wrestlers on the outside get caught and get thrown out. He can't see brass knucks occasionally? Why not? Fickle Mistress being fickle.
It was a Vince McMahon finish. You want to keep the belt on your champion? Get it down to the big 3 count, big false finish. 1, 2.
Oh my God!
We've got to disqualify the. We have to. Did you use that belt? Did you use this? Did you do that? Did you do that? You're getting disqualified, and the people riot. Only thing we didn't have. Only thing we needed was the people to riot in name of the babyface. People to riot and want to kill the ref in the name of the babyface.
So notice how. Do you notice how they booked Rumble?
Wait, can I ask you a question? When you said you never seen that, were you saying you literally have never seen that finish before, or you were saying that that's what the Fickle Mistress was acting like?
No, I've never seen that finish where a referee notices something like that in the 3 count and stops his 3 count to then disqualify said winner.
We've definitely seen that before.
Can you give me one?
It's like a classic spot in wrestling. What do you mean? The referee 1, 2, and the referee sees like the munchkin. The munchkin that falls out, right? The referee, when the guy wins, referee pulls up your arm and the weapon falls out from under your arm.
But that's a little different. That's
no, I'm saying. But I'm just trying to think of that finish. That finish is like, didn't Piper do that finish too? 1, 2, and had the stupid white tape thing around his hand as well.
The white tape knucks. You know better than me, sir.
Yeah, I know is I saw the finish and I was like, really.
I've seen variations of that, but not that exact version where the referee goes 1, 2, weapon. Usually the referee is oblivious to it. whether it's still on his hand or not. The referee's oblivious to it. Because what do guys normally do? They'll do the cover and they'll do one of these while they're covering it, right? And they're hiding it or something like that. Kevin ain't hide it. So the referee saw it. You're looking it up now, aren't you?
Because I just want to. I'm like, man, that finish feels so, because it feels so familiar. Because when I saw it, it felt like drinking a cup of warm tea. You know, it was just like, this feels good. Because it was like, this is a pro wrestling. I've seen it before, and so I'm like, I'm trying to think of where have I seen it before?
While you do that, I just want to talk about Logan Paul real quick, and then we're off.
Do it.
Logan Paul has had 9 matches in his career. Okay? I just want to point this out to you. Logan Paul has probably been the most protected celebrity wrestler ever. Okay? He's never been thrown out. He's been thrown out to the wolves, but he's been thrown out to the wolves, and he's been also raised by these same wolves that he was thrown out to. Okay? His first match ever was WrestleMania 38, Night 1. Him and The Miz defeated Dominic Mysterio and Rey Mysterio.
Yep.
Okay? And then Miz turned on him right after, blah, 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 right? 3 months later, he's working The Miz. So he went from working a tag team match with the most prototypical babyface, and I mean prototypical heel, and 2 over babyfaces, to then working the most prototypical heel 3 months later, right? Stay with me here. Then he takes on the champion in Saudi Arabia. I'm trying to do the math there. 4 months later, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you did very well against our most prototypical heel. Take on the heel champion. Let's see how far we can make this go viral. Okay. He's then in the Rumble, of course, makes another viral moment, because at that time he was viral moment Logan, right? Then he works his program, and I seen this live, and to work Seth Rollins at WrestleMania, right? Now he's working top babyface, working a completely different style that has remnants of the indie style blended in with the TV WWE style. You with me? You with me so far? He then works a multi-man Money in the Bank ladder match. First time he has ever in a ladder match, right? Which then leads him to his first defeat of a babyface in Ricochet, right? He has that whole feud with Ricochet. He works a high-flying babyface, okay? Good job. Now you need to work lucha. You know how to work lucha? Okay, perfect. We'll put you against Rey Mysterio, the champion, and we'll put the belt on you. From there, you got to defend that title, and you got to be in the most physical match you've ever been in your 9-match career in Kevin Owens. Logan Paul has pretty much seen every aspect of the business in 9 matches. Would you say that? He's worked a Rumble. He's worked a ladder match. He's worked the prototypical babyface. He's worked both top champions, right? High flyer, luchador, brawler in 9 matches. He's never worked a giant. That's the last thing he needs to do. Am I right?
Yeah, I mean, again, in terms of preparation, he's given himself enough time to prepare for each individual match. Yeah, like
of course.
In terms of like the guy's a natural athlete, and
he's a natural.
He's a natural in terms of the athletics. He's a natural he's picked up the timing of this thing incredibly well. Yep. He gets the personality of it.
Oh,
but
that's
the
easy.
Physical chess of it. The psychology he's learning, but in terms of it, but the wrestling, the physical part of it he's learning. But in terms of, man, like the promo he cut the other night, God, the promos leading up to the promo before the pay-per-view, the one before the Rumble, where he was complaining to Kevin Owens, and he was saying, and the one where Kevin punched him. Mm-hmm. No, where he punched Kevin, where Kevin took off the deal. Kevin took off and he slugged him. That promo. Yo, Logan Paul knew when to play with the crowd. He knew when to get them. He knew when to go up with them. He knew when to start talking. He knew when to feed into the what's. Like,
you can tell he's a student of it. He's a student of it.
Timing, yes, he gets so well.
Yeah, when it comes to speech, he has no problem there.
But the guy does great we've seen him do so well because he gets those 4 months to prepare. He prepared like that kid. Say what you want about him, but that kid can prep. That kid preps, and he definitely puts himself into what he's doing.
Real quick, to just piggyback off what you're saying, first match was in April, second match July, third match November, fourth match January, fifth match April. 5 matches in 1 year. He's doing the majors.
Yeah.
Sixth match July. That's the quick because it was Money in the Bank. Then he worked August. That's the quickest time frame between matches was that 1 month. And then November again, and then January. He's been working the big loops. So
think about how demanding each match has been, though, right? Think about the rigmarole of the demand of the match. Think about what was asked of him, right? So, like in the Rumble and such, he just had spots to do. In the Money in the Bank, he had spots to do. It wasn't he was a one-on-one singles match. So I think that, and as you said, in terms of protected, yeah, because they've given him enough. I think that's the thing with Jade, right? Is like Jade wasn't given the time to prepare the way she was for this Rumble, right? Tony didn't give her that time. Tony did the thing we all thought we all want to happen, is that you can shove someone out there in front of everybody and they'll figure it out live in person,
in the crowd,
and they'll succeed while they're out doing it.
So that works. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. Just as opposed to like it doesn't happen. Not everyone has a natural gift. Not everyone's Kurt Angle. Right? Kurt Angle is special because he's Kurt Angle.
Yep.
Kurt Angle is special because, as Dory Funk and everyone else said, as Tom Pritchard said about him, we literally shoved him on the television and he did it.
He just figured it out on the fly.
No one else.
Not everybody can do that. I feel like on the indies, that's more accepted. You got to get thrown to the wolves because you got to learn. The only way you're going to learn more outside of school is figuring out what works and doesn't work. But the thing is, on the indies, you're getting a $20 payday. You don't have to worry about
what you do, how good you were, bad you were.
You're going to get your $20 payday, your $25 payday. Okay, no matter what you did. You're going to get your critiques. You're going to get your guys who say good match. Now, you're on the WWE or in AEW or TNA, there's money. There's real money on the line here. And every minute you're on there matters. Every second you're on the screen, it matters. And if you're going to be out there and it's not satisfying to the people, it's not worth it. It's not worth putting you out there. So that's why that's like you're piggybacking off of me. Logan is super protected, unlike how unprotected Jade was in those 2 years. They put the belt on her. They just let her win. You don't learn that way. You don't learn by winning every single time you're out there, because you need to learn, like Raven said to us all those years ago, Vern, you have to learn to lose first. Oof, bless you. That's 2. Any more? He's good. You have to learn to lose first. You have no business being thrown. Same thing with Goldberg. Goldberg wasn't taught the right way. He wasn't even a big fan of the business. And it showed. You put him on there, you gave him a winning streak, and then what happened? The first time he lost, people immediately stopped caring. The first time Jade lost, she was off TV for 3 months. She came back for 2 matches, and here she is at the WWE, debuting at the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
So
absolutely. But overall, what would you say? What would you say to that match? How would you speak to that match?
I love the physicality. Logan needed that. Logan needed to learn to work snug, and he learned it from Kevin Owens. I love the entire match, start to finish. I had no qualms about it. I love the story they're telling about this guy's the entire time, talking about his arm. Logan worked it, slammed the arm against the post, turned that into good heat. Everything was good. Nothing seemed out of place except his boy. I know he had to introduce the Nux. It felt too long. Where he was out there for too, am I going to go there? Am I not going to go there? Then the guys ran down, and that's how they snuck him the Nux. Very long. I don't know what it was. Maybe
it felt stagey.
Yeah,
it's the part. It's the stagey part of wrestling. It's the accepted part of all right, this is the theater part of
it's the Gaga. Yeah.
But it's the Gaga part that it's the Gaga done raw. It's too Gaga because it was it was too obvious and fake that we're waiting for a run in right now.
Yep. My only gripe was that everything else from the match, the finish made up for that nonsense to me. The way the finish went, I said perfect, because when I saw it, I was like, that's how you get it done.
So
right, let's go
I
to the
gotta say
Rumble.
this. I
Unless you
will
got
say
something
this
else.
though, on behalf of the Fickle Mistress. The Fickle Mistress did say that was the most pro wrestling match on the card. A lot of them hated
You're
the
damn
finish,
right it was.
but they said it was the most pro wrestling match on the card because of the physicality.
Absolutely, 100% agree.
And to get to the main event, get to the men's rumble, I'll say this too: doing a show in a stadium like this sucks because without the sound being trapped, no matter how loud the crowd got,
yeah,
you'd only get the initial, and then it was just
it goes up. It goes up.
Yeah, and it would die.
It's still a dome. It's still a dome, but the arena's so big that the sound doesn't stay in one area.
The sound didn't
It still
translate
bounces
really
off.
well at
Yeah.
all in this place. Like that was the one thing in all the commentary about this show was that the
Yeah.
crowd was muted, but a lot of the live people who were there live were saying that like the crowd was
It was
hot.
amazing, I bet. So that's what I was gonna say. I bet
that you can't. But
there,
everyone said that like you would yell and
yeah,
it didn't
it doesn't
reverberate.
translate. It doesn't
It wasn't
translate.
like you were feeling people shake. They're like, despite how loud it got, it never felt like you could feel the place shaking or nothing like that.
Right. So tell me about this Rumble besides that, and we can skip ahead because we talked about it. The Rumble was what it was. The Rumble was what it was. It needed to get to where it needed to be. But go ahead.
Yeah.
Tell me some things, and then we can move on.
You know what? There were spots, moments here and there. Things I thought were exciting.
I got to see my boy Mello.
Yeah,
my
man.
guy,
I was happy for Mello. Mello had his
Me
moments.
too.
Mello had his moments in there. Waller had his moments in there. I thought everyone. This was a fine Rumble. This was like a really safe. That's the word I think I'm looking for. This was a very safe Rumble.
Safe Rumble. Everybody got out, well, except for a Punk, but everybody got out good.
Everyone got out good.
This is a weird
I didn't feel like anyone took any risks, any big risks this Rumble. There was no like.
Kofi didn't do anything crazy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like there was nothing necessarily, I guess, like outstanding. Though I thought like a lot of the guys running spots, like maybe some of that I felt was kind of like we're really big on like giving everyone like their literal moments of like, everybody sit down and watch. Like that kind of like, all right, this part feels a little much sometimes, but
what'd you think about Bobby's new gear?
Cool. I guess to differentiate now from him and the
Prophets.
The what's the name of the stable? Something
the
Age of Tomorrow isn't the Age of Tomorrow or something?
You're not talking about AOP in them, are you?
Yeah, I thought they're
called the Final Testament.
The Final Testament. There we go. That's what I'm saying. I was like something.
Love that.
The Final Testament. I think that's why
they're going white because those guys are dark. So they're white because they've got Because I don't know. I have no idea either. Andrade showing up, I liked.
We didn't even say that, right? Like we saw his entrance. Andrade showed up as a surprise, but it was, but it wasn't because obviously the IWC has been talking about it the moment he was done.
Right.
Oh, he's coming back.
What's up with Carlito, man? Something's weird. Something's weird about that return. It's a 1-year contract, right? He's done. He's done come SummerSlam, right? Or Backlash.
So.
Backlash? Backlash was the pay-per-view running.
Come the post-Mania shakedown, I don't think we see him anymore.
Yeah, he hasn't done anything really on TV.
He's not long for this world at all.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
No.
I don't know why he's not long for this world either.
Me neither. Yeah, I think Jay was good. Jay was good in his spots. Okay. I hope I see it soon. I hope it pops up. My favorite part of the Rumble. Let's see. Oh, besides Braun, everybody. Okay, did you hear about this thing? You're smirking. You hear about this thing where everybody's saying that was supposed to be Brock Lesnar? Do you believe that nonsense?
No,
not
at all.
Thank you, bro.
That is pure. Hey, Frank.
Do you think? And somebody ran
because Brock, they didn't put Brock in so they could give that spot to Braun. It's total conjecture and like I'm just reaching for something.
Yeah, I'm just reaching. Yeah, that's what I figured. These two mean
can I tell you, I kind of want this to be my Mania match. Secretly, I think this is my Mania match I want.
Gunther Braun. Well, I don't know if you heard Nick Aldis on Raw say
what did I miss?
He got off the phone because Andrade was signing with Raw with Pierce.
I saw that.
Aldis said, "Hold on, I got to take this." He's like, "Oh, it's Braun Breaker," and he walked off. So Braun could be very much on his way after this Vengeance Day reporting.
Well, no, you're right. Yes. What am I saying? Braun is
that?
signed to SmackDown. No, Braun is definitely signed to SmackDown. And I think Braun's on the way up now. But man, that's what I'm saying. Secretly, I wish this could be my Mania match. Like I wish I could see this right here. I didn't know I wanted this till I saw it.
Yeah, man, that's the beauty of the Rumble. You start to see guys that don't see each other at all, and you're like, ooh, kind of like when Keith Lee and Roman and Brock were in there together, and you're like, ooh. Well, that was Keith Lee and Roman was Survivor Series, so let me re-say that. When Keith Lee and Brock were in the Rumble together, it was kind of like, ooh, you would never see these two mix it up, and you never did ever again. But it's like that's what's cool about the Rumble. You get to see things like that. Omasi in here
making
doing
a comeback. Shout out to him.
Yeah. Shout out to Braun, just beasting. McAfee was a good spot.
Okay. Did you see the tweet that was going around as reported by WWE, their own like news?
Okay.
That Pat McAfee said he had no idea that this was a shoot. And WWE News reported that, and everyone ran with it about how unprofessional that is. How could they do that? I promise you. And I'm like, guys, their news feed reported it as a direct quote from him, guys.
Like he doesn't have people in his ear going, Pat, you're next. Jesus Christ.
Best he had Frank, he had no idea up until the moment his music played that he was in the Rumble. I was like, you're right, guys. You're right. This was a shoot. You're right.
May I say something?
Please.
Did you like this haha from Truth?
This was Truth perfection.
Can I point out something to you?
Shoot.
Haha in the action. Don't you notice?
Yes. This is the difference.
Who does a hot tag in the Rumble?
When he came out at first, when Gunther said, what?
Oh my God.
And immediately Dom was reaching, and you see my man Truth started getting that crowd. I was like, yo, stop
I said,
playing with me, bro.
Is he doing I was giggling. Is he doing a hot tag right now? And then Dom gets away and does the leaping tag. I said,
and the crowd jumped, and they
popped. Oh my God. Yeah.
They gave him a comeback.
I'm legit getting goosebumps back in the head right now just thinking about it. Bro, it was so perfect.
Great moment.
This is how you keep Truth funny in ring. Like you said, the joint with Valhalla, I can see your point.
Yeah,
you cannot deny this one.
But it goes back. No, but this goes with the joint with Truth. Remember when they shoved Truth on that Monday Night Raw to come out and mess up the briefcase spot for Damian?
Yeah,
that felt like a force.
Right.
When he came out with the money rolls and started giving everybody money and everything, and I was like, those things are like, all right, y'all, stop. Don't force the Truth humor. The Truth humor is funny.
They're trying to stretch it on. That's what the thing is. They're trying to keep it strong. But I think they finally just this past Monday with the Miz doing the run in. So CM Punk in. Let's just talk about it, bro. Bro tore his tricep, bro.
Man.
Damaged goods.
You know me, bro. I hate that. And this morning I put in the group chat of like, I hate to admit, but I think, man, he may have gotten to that point of like, right, he may not be able to full time, right? He may not be a guy that can do this that long.
Right.
And
which sucks.
You know what? I was thinking we may see CM Punk win a title. I still think we may see CM Punk win a title, but I think whatever plans that were in store for CM Punk, I think they were dead at the Rumble. Whatever hopes and dreams we had for Punk, at least for me, I just went, oh, you're older, Punk. I wish you weren't there. I wish you didn't do the 2 years in AEW. I wish you didn't take 10 years off. I wish you didn't. Right. I wish we could have had this sooner. Like, I found myself lamenting that there is this huge gap in time that Punk is gone. His body physically deteriorated and he's older. And
well, when you take that much time off, Vern, your body,
I know
your body loses that callus, brother.
Yeah. You know what? This just made me sad. This just finding out that the tear was real, that it wasn't a work, and that he really is out 4 to 6, and he is going to miss Mania. He is going to be out probably till SummerSlam or later. like,
shout out to him for finishing the match though, and making sure that Cody gets his moment, man.
Yeah, what a professional. He's a pro. For anyone out there who's hating on Punk and says Punk ain't that, come on, man. He's a pro. He's a pro like you would. Come on.
Right, man. It sucks, but hey, It's an injury. He'll
Because like he
return.
said yesterday, man, Punk said in his promo, I was supposed
Monday.
to go win the Rumble on Monday. Excuse me. Monday, I was supposed to win the Rumble. I was supposed to challenge for me. Like, I feel like he was telling us the truth. That was the plans, y'all. I was going to win the Elimination Chamber, and I was going to go to Mania. And it's like,
I like this shot right here. Punk looking up at him. Cameraman right there.
What could have been. Like you said, right? This was planting seeds for what could have been. Had it just been a little arm tweak, what could have been.
Right. So I like it. I like it. I like the Rumble. Cody's gonna finish the story, brother. Question for you, Vern. Cody gets to WrestleMania 40. We get to the finish. 1, 2, 3. Roman retains. What happens? What do you think? Do the people go crazy?
No.
It can't happen.
Roman can't retain.
It can't happen.
It can't retain. Just because at this point, if Roman retains, then it feels like, okay, we're stretching it for the sake of a record. We're not stretching it for the sake of a story.
Of the story, correct.
I don't know if the Cody character can stay. Last year, right? That loss, we made sense because it was like, all right, it made no sense if he'd just shown up out of nowhere, conquered a quick victory.
He was gone.
He was gone.
You always have to remember he was gone for that big period of time.
Yep.
And it just have him come back. I think, I'll say it again. He was there the entire time. He's already champion. Yeah. Roman's got lots of time off. He's already champion, in my opinion. Cody had been run with the ball. Remember, countdown to Cody before Vince was gone. Countdown to Cody, all that stuff to get him super over. I think he would have been champion already. But that time he lost, planted some seeds like, man, maybe we should wait until 40 to make it a big moment at 40.
Yeah.
Here we are,
and that's all. I just think you'd miss out on it being 40. Roman ending that. I just think there's
1,000 days.
There's too much you can put into this to make it like Vince was all about creating moments.
Yeah.
And if Vince taught us anything, you're gonna miss this moment, then you're nuts. You're nuts.
Yeah, you're insane if you think that's a good idea. So
yeah,
just like we said, man. I like the pay-per-view. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a good one. I liked the 4 matches. I like that it was.
And if you didn't like this pay-per-view and say the men's Rumble was boring, it's because we're spoiled rotten.
You're fickle. That's why.
You're fickle. We're spoiled rotten. All those years that we got all the surprises, all the things and everything, enjoy it for what it was. We're in a place now where we don't need to do surprises anymore. We don't need to have every throwback wrestler come back.
They were waiting for somebody big to be 30, and it was Sami Zayn. And it sucks for Sami because it was big for Sami because it was a return after he was out and he needed to go back after Drew.
But
the people didn't see that. The people said, "Oh, it wasn't
it's not Okada
here.
It's not Okada." Everybody was waiting for Okada. It wasn't Okada.
Okay, moving on.
That's it. That's what a lot of that smart crowd that was in there tonight. With that night, were waiting for Okada. They were waiting to hear the coin drop to go.
But what's funny?
The select few who would have done it, and the rest of the folk who would have gone.
Who is that? Who's this guy? Who's this? And then the Mark screaming, "It's Okada! You guys don't watch New Japan? No.
Oh my God, you're not a real wrestling fan.
You're not a real fan, you casual." Yeah. All right, moving on. Burn. We talked about it last week.
I cannot believe we're on this for this long, man. Wow.
We went an hour. I'm glad we did it first.
So that way, because folks, we got some quick hitters for y'all because there's not much. It's pretty light in the news.
Yes, sir. So we talked about it last month, 2 weeks ago. We talked about Love in WWE, Tez and Bianca on Hulu. Well, this time around, we got a trailer. We're not going to talk much before it. We're just going to pop it up because we talked enough. So we're going to give people something to listen to this time. So without further ado, Vern, are you ready?
Lego.
On the screen, we have Love in WWE, Bianca and Montez official trailer from Hulu. And we are going to start it right about now.
Every time I'm in the kitchen, you in the kitchen.
This is my house too. I pay for 1/4 of the bills around here.
Racing the bar.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bianca Belair! Montez Ford, here we go!
So, we are WWE superstars, and we're husband and wife.
When it's hot, you know I go commando.
Ooh. Life in the WWE is just crazy and nonstop and no off season.
But you know what? It's so much fun.
How I look in the crowd.
Bianca is the prime example of what a main event superstar is.
I see the conflict that he's going through.
My wife, third straight year, WrestleMania, and me is third straight year trying to figure out where I fit in. I'm not just Bianca Belair's husband.
Hey, that's nothing.
They are here. Our family is always there.
Why y'all walking so fast?
Every moment.
Hey!
My family and baby fever. I'm getting pressure from everybody. From my mama. I like. My husband pushing a baby out. I'm terrified. You put Otis on your shoulders.
Are you kidding me?
You can push your baby out, girl. I want to be a wrestler, be a wife. I want to be a mom. If I have a baby, everything stops for me.
You can be out 15 to 18 months.
This is a journey.
You get these very rare chances in life to shine.
I love you.
I'm gonna go bug wild.
The hell is he doing?
I'm tired. I'm trying to hold it together. It's overwhelming and it's exhausting sometimes.
Are you ready to look down? 1, 2, 3.
This is a journey. We got a lot to figure out, but we're both in this together. And that's what makes us who we are. Who we are.
Shout out Omos on the cameo. Big Vern. You with me? You sound quite like you're muted, bro. Okay, I hear you.
No, I was just fixing a wire over here. What's up?
My first impression, you walked away for a bit. That's why I took you off the screen. You should have told me. I would have taken us off the screen.
Don't worry about it.
My first impression of it is it doesn't feel like reality TV. It feels like a documentary almost.
Yeah.
From the trailer.
Well,
from the trailer. It has reality elements. You could see it, like when they were talking to his sister or whatever, her sister, talking about you put Otis on your shoulder. That's very reality TV.
When she fed her that line, I was like, who wrote that line?
Like nobody says that. Nobody says that.
It'd have been like, yo, you put that. She should have said you put that big fat boy on your shoulders. That I'd believe. Not
right.
You put Otis on your shoulders.
Like she don't know
really?
Who Otis is. She ain't
Thank you.
She ain't watching. Stop. But what I like is the story is Bianca's highly successful in the company while Montez is still treading water. He's trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
So I like that dynamic. I like that.
The storyline, the plot they presented to me.
I like it. All right. I like that. But what I feel like it could work as a vehicle for Montez, because what normally happens in reality television is people cling on to the character more than ever. So, like, think of the Ultimate Fighter. UFC was never over until the Ultimate Fighter came out.
You're going, Matt. You're right, but you're going far. Don't even got to go that far, Doc. Divas, Total Divas. Look at what Total Divas did for an entire generation of female wrestling fans.
Because they
all got in because of Total Divas.
Total Divas, perfect.
The reason Natty is the legend that she is because
Total Divas and her cats,
Total Divas helped make her be a legend in the minds of so many girls because she's still there. She's like the queen bee that has been there from the beginning. Perfect so yes, example. That's what I'm saying. You ain't got to go that far, bro. Total Divas made stars.
Reality TV allows you to see a part of them you don't see. So that makes people feel like you know them more personally. But that's not even the truth, because it's usually fed lines and BS in these reality shows anyway.
Or John Cena on the Total Bellas, who was just a robot and says, we eat dinner at this time and we must.
What's funny is
share quote of the
people really think that's John. Like, oh man,
the
John's
fact that
really
no one,
like that.
Yeah, no one would be like,
dude, he's playing a character.
What do y'all mean?
Nobody got that. Well, I don't want to dive too far into that.
Yeah. No.
People really thought John was being, but that's the thing. That's the thing about reality TV. You call it reality, so people think it's immediately real. But you call us pro wrestling, and they go, "Hey, you know that stuff's fake, right? Hey, you know Love and Basketball's fake, right? You know, all them girls didn't really like Flavor Flav, right? You know them girls kissing Flavor Flav are only doing it on TV, right? I mean, you know that girl New York is only over because of all the dumb stuff she does on television, right? It's not because you really like what you see her act for real. Like, no, that's not how it works. It's reality television. It's still a work. It's still a work. So I want to see how that pops up and pops off. I'll watch it. Yeah. I'm sure all the episodes will be out at once. So they better be no more than half an hour.
I'm gonna say this show is black excellence, right? Black excellence, right? I mean, you see this and it's just like, yo, it's WWE who historically when it comes to black wrestlers, when it comes to showcasing them, this honesty right here, I feel like, yo, this feels like an honest representation of who they are, what they are, and this doesn't feel scummy or exploitive or feel like we're trying mad hard to let y'all see that, yo, we got black people. This feels like, yo, we're gonna let them shine, and we're gonna let them shine in a way that's authentic to them. And I'm excited to see where this could go. And does this open up a new lane for like you said, for Montez and for Bianca as well?
Yeah, for Bianca
and for the Cassidy family, because they family about to become famous, man. If the show hits, if family about to have.
You'll see a spinoff, Keeping Up with the Bel-Airs or Keeping Up with the Fords. Come on now.
Yo.
So check this out. You're saying it wasn't this? You're saying it wasn't this, Vern? It wasn't this nonsense? Corey and Carmella? Because when we saw that trailer.
Yeah.
We saw that trailer and we went, oh, this is trash TV. Because they were immediately talking sex.
Yes. I forgot. That was their hook. It was just a super horny show. Yes, that was super horny, that show.
It was just like, okay. I remember I told you, I said I'll watch the first 10 minutes of the show. Or it was like a 10-minute show. I said I'll watch the first 5 minutes. I cut it off in the first minute. Because immediately I was like, this ain't it. This ain't it. Cut it off immediately. It doesn't feel that way, which is why I'm like, I'll give it a chance. Just like you said, black excellence. Black people are going to be represented in a way that you don't ever get to really see them on television. You know what I mean? So I like that.
Well, WWE TV. I think it's a huge step for them. I think for them, this is a huge step as they've been expanding that narrative beyond the cringy rap characters that usually make me want to bang my head into the wall.
They're showing black people as normal human beings, and I love it. So
yeah.
I can't wait to see it. I think it comes out.
That's something I wanted to point out about this, and I felt that it was important to share about it, man, because I think it's great to see that change coming to the Fed.
Oh, hey, it comes out
February 2nd.
Right now, tomorrow, February 2nd.
Yeah.
I like that. So let's segue into something that's happening as of right now, February 1st. Kazuchika Okada is officially a free agent, Vern. As of right now, it's 12:19 in the morning. It's February 1st. Happy February, Vern. I'm about to call you Fern.
Happy February, homie.
Let's talk this article real quick. We're talking about this man right here, Kazuchika Okada. Okay? The Kazuchika Okada, this is from Sports Illustrated, but it says Wrestling on Fan Nation. So Fan Nation must be like a subsidiary of Sports Illustrated, I'm guessing, where it's like fan. Okay, you're gonna hate who wrote this. Kazuchika Okada set to become free agent in 2024. The face of New Japan Pro Wrestling, Kazuchika Okada may soon have a new home. Written by
Justin Barrasso.
December 4th, 2023. Your favorite. Kazuchika Okada is about to become a free agent, Sports Illustrated has learned. Oh, sorry. The face of New Japan Pro Wrestling, Okada's current contract. What? Already? What? The face of New Japan Pro Wrestling, Okada's current contract expires at the end of January. Does that sound like a sentence that makes sense?
In the mind of Justin Barrasso, it does.
I think you say Okada, the face of New Japan Pro Wrestling, and then it just feels weird. Anyway, while a new deal with New Japan would typically be underway, Okada, 36, is seriously entertaining the possibility of wrestling for a different promotion. When Okada wrestled, let me keep him up here because he's green screen. Yeah. When Okada wrestled on Dynamite in October, the purpose of his trip was not solely to advance his feud with Bryan Danielson ahead of their Wrestle Kingdom match, as they're showing a picture of Danielson and his fractured arm after that match at Forbidden Door. That Dynamite in Philadelphia also allowed Okada a chance to acquire a better sense of AEW, which is one of the two destinations he will land if he opts to exit New Japan. Beyond AEW, the only other possibility for Okada is WWE. The creative in WWE is headed by Paul Triple H Levesque, who will relish the opportunity to guide Okada to stardom in North America. One of Levesque's most trusted allies in WWE is Shawn Michaels, who oversees NXT. Nearly 3 years ago, during an interview with Sports Illustrated, Michaels touched on Okada's brilliance. Can I do a Shawn Michaels voice? I don't think I can. It's real rough and graspy.
No,
real rough.
Can't.
Someone once asked me how to. Okay, I can't do them. Someone once asked me how Okada would adjust if he were ever in the WWE, and I know the answer to that. He'd adjust fantastically because he's a fantastic talent," said Michaels, who is now WWE Senior Vice President of Talent Development Creative. That's a lot of words. It's like me. People would say, "Well, you've only wrestled in the WWE, but I could have wrestled anywhere." When a guy is talented, he's talented. The most recent superstar to move from New Japan to WWE was Shinsuke Nakamura, who signed with the WWE in 2016. Though he never won the world title, Nakamura received a strong initial push in WWE. 7 years later, he is currently in the best stretch of his WWE run, having just finished a fantastic World Heavyweight title feud with Seth Rollins and now beginning a program with Cody Rhodes. Yet there were also prolonged stretches where the company had very little for him creatively. That blame could be pinned on Vince McMahon, who is no longer seeing creative for WWE, but Nakamura was working the Slim Jim Battle Royal as recently as this past SummerSlam. Okada is the flagship of New Japan. This would be similar to Randy Orton or Roman Reigns leaving WWE, and his next destination is important to New Japan. There were many who expected Nakamura's run in WWE to be much shorter and that he would have already returned to New Japan, but there are no indications he will return anytime soon because he's smart. If Okada entered free agency, he is expected to receive a massive payday wherever he signs. When comparing AEW and WWE as potential destinations, there are some stark differences. WWE affords Okada the opportunity to work WrestleMania. There will also be a stacked roster awaiting his arrival, where he could work matches with Reigns, Orton, Rhodes, Nakamura, Rollins, Owens, McIntyre, Gunther, Sami Zayn, and Finn Balor, just to name a few. If Okada signed with WWE, it would be another significant acquisition in the company's Endeavor TKO era, especially after just signing CM Punk and Jade Cargill. But for all the potential that exists in WWE, you ready for it? You ready for it, Vern? AEW may be the better fit. AEW offers a schedule where a talent at most typically works 2 shows a week. That would allow Okada to continue living in Japan, which is a priority for him, Sports Illustrated learned. A similar situation already exists in AEW with Pac, who still lives in England, and it is also the plan for Will Ospreay, who just signed with AEW and plans to continue living in England. There will also be no shortage of must-see matches in AEW, though none greater than a bout against eternal rival Kenny Omega. A colossal advantage for AEW is that WWE does not have a working relationship with New Japan. AEW owner Tony Khan has cultivated a partnership with New Japan, which could pay dividends here. If New Japan ever wanted Okada to return, okay, nobody cares there. Destination remains unknown, but all signs point to Okada exploring free agency in 2024. Vern, I ask you this question, fill in the blank. The ideal destination for Kazuchika Okada is
dependent upon if Okada wants to make a lot of money fast or if Okada generally cares about making the most out of his craft. I think that's what this as weird as an answer that is, I think that's what this depends on, because if he wants a huge payday, he knows we can find it.
Yep.
He can make it fast. He's not lying.
He can leave.
Doesn't have to move. Can always stay working any dates he wants, wherever he wants, for whoever he wants. He can listen. He can show up to the dub tomorrow, broken down, beat up as he is, and they'll still use him and pay him,
and they'll still put the belt on him.
And we'll get a bunch of random matches with no story, no storyline ever that we'll ever talk about Okada in, and it'll be fine. Or the choice that I think that he should make, and if he was if he's intelligent, but if he wants to make a mark in this business, and I'm sorry, and I'm sorry for the person wherever I just triggered when I just said that, but having bangers with Kenny Omega at Wrestle Kingdom, matches that to this day I haven't finished them, and I don't care to finish them because they don't interest me. Sirs, unless you're in that bubble, it doesn't matter. No one cares how many 5-star matches it was given. I can't remember no one remembers a Kazuchika Okada promo. No one remembers us Kazuchika Okada, a great match that he had and the story it told and the promos leading up to it. Everyone remembers the match and the great moments.
Yeah.
But if he wants to learn how to work the American style, to work how to do promos, what's his English like, right? Like there's just I just unfortunately look, I think the question here, like I said before, is does he want to invest the time? He's 36. Does he have the time? Does he have the time to learn English?
Does he have kids?
I don't know. I don't know anything about him. I don't know anything about Okada outside of what I've seen. But unless he has the time and all that, I think he has to go to NXT to learn how to work for an American crowd, right? Because that's the thing.
Hold on,
and
real
that's
quick,
the other thing, brother.
Real quick. Kazuchika Okada is going to be a dad. As first reported by Yahoo Sports Japan, the current IWGP World Heavyweight Champion is expecting his first child with his wife, Suzuko Momori, this August after the couple got married back in April 2019. That article was 2 years ago, May 30th. He's got a 2-year-old. He's 36 years old. That matters. I know that matters. 2-year-old living in Japan with his wife. He's going to AEW. Oh, did I cut out for a while?
Yeah.
So I was saying he's got a 2-year-old. Oh, you're catching up now. Okay, it's catching up now.
Okay.
He's got a 2-year-old.
No, I agree with you.
He's 36 years old.
Why would he?
He's going to AEW.
In Japan, why would he move? Yeah, no.
Vern, I'm 36 years old. I'm a world-renowned wrestler in Japan. I have made my mark in the world of Japanese wrestling for the last, I don't know, as far as I've been back into wrestling, I've known of Okada 15 years. I remember when he was there in TNA, right? He was the guy in TNA dressed up with the gimmick. His excursion, and I was around the TNH era. So I've been watching Okada for a very long time. I've seen him. Bro, he's etched his mark in Japanese wrestling. Nobody will ever forget him there in Japan. Internationally, like you said, do you want the payday or do you want to be looked at as one of the greatest ever? If you want to be one of the greatest ever, you know where to go. But when you have a 2-year-old and a wife of 5 years and you're 36 and Tony is sitting there dangling that cash, daddy, right? He pulls out the wallet. That's exactly how Tony does it. Hold on. Let me get my wallet. Oh, this time it didn't dangle. Damn it. It worked so good the first time. And that wad of cash comes falling out. Brother, I'm taking that payday. I get to stay home. Oh, babe, I'll be back. I'll be back on Friday. I'm going to fly out Tuesday. I'll be back Friday morning. And I'm done for the week. But listen, you're about to engage in the wife deal, right? You're about to get yourself one of these wives. I'm trying to kayfabe it as much as I can, right? Without bringing out too much information. You're about to engage in the wife deal.
No. I'm saying the whole
thing. Everything then becomes 50. Right?
Correct, man. You can. This
do
is
you go?
Thing, you can. Yeah. Do
you go, babe? What do you want? Do you want me to be gone for 300 days in a different country, or do you want me to be here every week? She's gonna say, take AEW. I know my wife would. I wish she was awake. I'd call and ask right now. Let me see if she is awake. Hold on. I swear to God, I'd call and ask her right now.
I mean, again, it's a moot point. I think you're right. It's a moot point. There is no point. Like there is no point in really trying to think that hard about it. But
we don't have It sucks. It sucks because I would love to see Okada plant that drop kick onto a Randy Orton or not a Cena or a Roman Reigns or anybody in that the height he gets on that drop kick, the fact that they can emphasize just that drop kick. And he'd be working no longer than 15 minutes instead of 45. His body would be able to handle it.
I don't know, man. I think he might end up
I don't think he does it. I don't think he does it.
You have a compelling argument, but I think that I just think that him leaving Japan is a sign that he knows his body's not going to last that long.
Right.
I think he knows he's got more behind him than he has in front of him.
Yes, he knows that.
And if he's going to extend that, he's going to go to TKO Sports. He's not going to Tony Khan Wrestling, because if he goes with Tony Khan Wrestling, there's not going to be much more at the end. There's not enough.
He's going to continue to do the same things that he was doing in Japan. Yeah. Except he's doing it with I don't want to say untrained, but less inclined in the style that you work. Though you're gonna have those kind of workers, guys who want to emulate Japan, but don't really know how to work that Puroresu Ringu style, right? It's not gonna work. And then let's see, my man Mitsuharu Misawa died at 46. For sure, Okada's looking at that like, yo, 10 years, my daughter will be 12. I don't want to die in this ring. Or my daughter will be 12. I don't want to die in this ring. I've got to go elsewhere. Like you said, WWE is the way to go. He's going to work 6 to 12 on TV the most, and then his house shows. But he'll be gone from his family. Or he can go to AEW, collect his paydays, and phone it in. For however long his contract is. Let's say he signs a 4-year deal. Done at 40, phones it in.
Because there's no phoning it in. For Tony, there's no phoning it in. He pays. We've seen it. He pays his toys enough that his toys will do what they need to do.
His toys go out, right? Look at what Bryan Danielson is doing.
His toys will destroy themselves to justify that they're quote unquote legends or whatever. But no.
That sucks, brother. It sucks. All right, let's move on, man. Okada, I hope you make the right decision. That's all I'm gonna say. Vern, the WWE Raw. Where's it going, buddy? Where's it going in 2025? Netflix. This is straight from Netflix.com. Netflix to become new home of WWE Raw beginning 2025. This was on January 23rd. Long-term deal brings weekly live sports entertainment to Netflix. Stamford, Connecticut. Dateline, January 23rd. WWE, part of TKO Holding Groups, Inc., NYSE, TKO, and Netflix, NASDAQ, and FLX, today announced a long-term partnership that will bring WWE's flagship weekly program, Raw, to the world's leading entertainment service. This marks a major programming shift as Raw leaves linear television for the first time since its inception 31 years ago. Beginning in January 2025, Netflix will be the exclusive new home of Raw in the US, Canada, UK, and Latin America, among other territories, with additional countries and regions to be added over time. Likewise, as part of the agreement, Netflix will also become the home for all WWE shows and specials outside the US as available, inclusive of Raw and WWE's weekly shows. I'm going to read that again. Likewise, as part of the agreement, Netflix will also become the home for all WWE shows and specials outside the US as available, inclusive of Raw and WWE's other weekly shows, SmackDown and NXT, as well as the company's premium live events, including WrestleMania, SummerSlam, Royal Rumble, WWE's award-winning documentaries, original series, and forthcoming projects will also be available on Netflix internationally beginning in 2025. This deal is transformative, said Mark Shapiro, TKO president and COO. It marries the can't-miss WWE product with Netflix's extraordinary global reach and locks in significant and predictable economics for many years. That's the key part that he likes. Our partnership fundamentally alters and strengthens the media landscape, dramatically expands the reach of WWE, and brings weekly live appointment viewing to Netflix. We are excited to have WWE Raw with its huge and passionate multi-generational fan base on Netflix, said Netflix CEO Bella Baharia. I'm going to go Baharia. By combining our reach, recommendations, and fandom with WWE, we'll be able to deliver more joy and value for their audience and our members. Raw is the best of sports entertainment, blending great characters and storytelling with live action 52 weeks a year, and we're thrilled to be in this long-term partnership with WWE. In its relatively short history, Netflix has engineered a phenomenal track record for storytelling, said Nick Khan, WWE president. We believe Netflix as one of the world's leading entertainment brands is the ideal long-term home for Raw's live, loyal, and ever-growing fan base. With 1,600 episodes to date, Raw is the most iconic show in sports entertainment. Since its debut in 1993, Raw has delivered action, compelling drama, and unmatched athleticism 52 weeks a year. Blending the best of scripted content with unpredictable live entertainment, the 3-hour show has helped launch the careers of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Triple H, John Cena, Roman Reigns, Bianca Belair, and Charlotte Flair. You see how they did that, huh? The show is currently the number one show on the USA Network, where it brings in 17.5 million unique viewers over the course of the year. One of the television's best performing shows in the 18 to 49 advertising demographic, Raw trends on X 52 weeks a year while each new episode is airing. On social media, WWE has more than 1 billion followers across its platforms. Vern, what did you take the most out of that? WWE in going to Netflix?
No, I mean, I think what it does is just shows up that WWE is definitely Netflix is going to be the home of the new network. Whenever this Peacock deal runs out, it seems like the natural move is going to be now that it's going to migrate over to Netflix, and that'll be that.
So I look at it as of January 2025, the WWE network as we knew it 11 years ago by then will be dead, right? The one Vince started where you had to pay him $10 a month. You had to go to WWE.com/network and set up your whole login to go watch all the content you wanted will be dead, because Netflix will run everything except SmackDown and NXT, include and have everything else, including Raw, for the international. Peacock will have it for the US, except Raw and SmackDown and NXT. So I'm looking at it as the network will be dead. That's the first thing I notice. The next thing I peeped, Vern, I'm going to read it one more time. It marries the can't-miss WWE product with Netflix's extraordinary global reach and locks in significant and predictable economics for many years. Right? So it's going to be a multi-year deal, clearly, obviously, right? Mark Shapiro is putting over how transformative it is, because now you're having live television streaming off a streaming platform, as opposed to you going, oh man, I got to put on USA. I got to go to Netflix. This is clearly the wave of the future, Vern. That's how I look at it. This is the future. We are looking at the future as we know it. Cable television is starting to die. The only reason why we tune in is for live sports. They are the highest grossing ratings grabber across the board. You know, remember our teachers, one of our teachers used to always watch JAG on CBS when we were in the 90s, right? When we were in middle school.
Mm-hmm.
You remember Miss Green? You remember Miss Green? She used to watch JAG. That was her favorite show. Social studies teacher. Remember her? She was like 90 in the 90s.
Yeah, man.
Now, here we are. We're the adults. And what do? We ain't got cable. We just have internet and we have apps, right? If we do have cable, all we use it for is to watch basketball, to watch football, to watch baseball, or to watch something that's happening live that you have to tune in or you miss out the opportunity, right? You don't need to watch The Walking Dead live. You don't have to go, damn, I got to watch it on Sunday at 9 p.m. No, you don't, because it's going to be on AMC Plus the next day, or it's on Hulu the next day, right? The wave of the future is upon us, Vern. It's upon us, brother. Why are you laughing at me?
Because you just mansplained the hell out of that. I was like, Brandon, you beating this dead horse. Like, I was like, brother,
I'm just saying.
I know, because you're like, yo, brother,
saying.
let me give you another example. I was like, Freddie, I know you're right. You're right. You're like,
all.
Right?
That's all.
I'm going to explain it one more time. Right? Yes, you're right. You nailed it, my boy. You nailed it the whole time.
Appreciate you.
I'm like, what are you doing?
I want you to piggyback, man. Piggyback off of me. Say
I was
something.
like, what are you doing here?
I want you to
You kept
piggyback
saying
off.
it and get it again. I was like, where are we going with this?
You tell me, Vern. Talk.
Yes, tell me. I think it's like watching something you want. You're gonna watch it. Yes, I know. Yeah, no.
Yes.
It's you know what it does. I just think that it's terrifying in the sense that like you just said, it's the wave of the future in the way that Netflix just paid for first run television, which is nuts.
Never, like nobody does that. Nobody
Right?
does
They're
that.
paying for
Unless
first run
it's sports.
television.
Yeah.
Yeah, live. We're gonna watch live first run television, which is nuts.
On Netflix. That's gonna be weird.
Right? On Netflix, as
Yeah.
you just said. So I think that's interesting in and of itself, is that this is a live first run TV show on Netflix, which I don't believe they have shows that get produced that could put out once a week, but never live run, right? I don't, is this the first live run show on Netflix?
Yes.
I don't know
they
that.
Do,
So that
they
I'm
do
asking
like they have like a competition show and they'll make it come out weekly, but it's already
okay, but
filmed,
it's
already
filmed
taped.
already. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
No,
So
live?
I think
No,
this is
interesting.
This is
Yes.
it.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for this deal because I think it's interesting because it's pushing the medium in terms of like it's the first show that's live to TV. But
Yep.
like you said, I'm scared because now, okay, if this is a huge money grabber, ratings grabber for them,
If it works,
is this now going to be the death of tertiary TV, of TV that doesn't happen only on the internet?
it's insane.
So
it's
over
insane.
the
It's
air.
insane to think about.
Yeah.
Right.
But
like I said,
think that,
I'm kidding.
no. But like I told you, I just think it's pointing to a future where Peacock's days are numbered. I think this is just pointing us to a place where
think
if
Netflix
it's lucrative,
just grabs it all.
if they paid that much for it internationally, why wouldn't you say, yo, Peacock, your deal's up? All right, WWE, just give us the rights to it in America. We'll
Keep
have
the rest.
Because what's the biggest complaint people had about Peacock? Was the UI, the user interface.
Oh,
the
yeah,
biggest
yeah,
thing
yeah,
people
yeah.
complained about, right?
The amount of
things
times
are
I've seen Puss in
stored.
Boots. The amount of time I've seen Puss in Boots pisses me off with Peacock. When something goes wrong, and I'm just like, come on, like restart. Something goes wrong. All right, I'm a dumb dog.
So
Peacock.
Netflix has a great, as far as I know, right? I've never been like, oh God, Netflix, so hard to find a movie I want to find on Netflix.
Has Netflix ever crashed on you or froze or?
Unless I have bad service, no.
Yeah,
So
got the track record.
I feel like if anything, the international deal is a test pilot, and if it works, we're gonna hear pretty soon that the Peacock deal is over, and Netflix is gonna acquire the rights to it in America.
So how long is that deal?
I think they have a 5-year deal. No, with Peacock was a 5-year deal.
2026.
Okay, so I think that's
so Netflix got a year. Netflix got a year to prove it right. Ooh,
I think this is a test concept with Netflix. Yeah, man, that this could be like you said. I didn't think of it like that, but if this works, Netflix could all of a sudden just change the way television is produced and bought. Because now why not? Now the Yankees will go, okay, Amazon, pay the Yankees per game. We'll pay you per live game. Okay, then if you haven't watched the Yankee game, you better get that Amazon account because there's no way you're going to watch the Yankees now with just having channel 11. Right? This used to be the old channel, channel 11.
Yeah, WPIX. Shout out to New York. WPIX.
You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying, Franny. You said that, and that triggered in my mind. I didn't consider it like that, but you're right. Like it really is. Dude. It's a game changer. But because now you have first run television going live, and with the way the format that described it, right? That some people who have the ad-free version will watch the match straight, but the breaks, the wrestlers will wrestle around the breaks. Which I thought was like,
that's
okay, but don't tell me. Yeah, it's weird. I guess it's kind of strange in some ways, you know?
Okay. Oh my God. All right. Right now, 2024, February, $7 a month, you get standard with ads from Netflix. Standard with ads. $15.50, which I think is what I pay. You get standard with extra member slots. So extra people can watch. Like you want my Netflix, you get Netflix. He get Netflix, they get Netflix. Everybody get Netflix, right? Then there's premium. I think premium gives you like ultra HD and download on 6 supported devices, 4 support. Yeah. So that's $22.99. All right. This is before the E's here. Vern, give me some prices with the E attached to it in 2025. What do you think? You think we go up a few bucks? Yeah. Oh, bless you. Coconuts. It's going to go away now. I say coconuts. It's gone. It's gone. It's gone. It's gone. Yes.
All right.
It's gone, isn't it?
Yeah, I totally think that there'll be another price hike.
Yeah.
Maybe $5 because, man, that price hike on Netflix has been steady, hasn't it?
Yo.
$5 to
I don't
$10,
remember. I don't remember the
$5.
original price of Netflix. Do you? What was the original price?
I want to say it was
Not the
5.
mail order one.
Oh, the digital. Oh, I
streaming.
don't remember. I don't remember.
I don't remember either at this point. I know T-Mobile gives me like a credit on it. They go, oh, we give you this much, but I still got to pay a few dollars. But as far as I know, T-Mobile, I mean, Netflix been running it up. We get an email like every 6 months, like, hey, price is going up. I'm like, damn, Netflix again.
Yeah,
So,
Netflix do be coming for that money.
all right, Vernon, it's on you, brother. So
all right,
you
brother.
can start whenever you want. We can bust
Yeah,
these 3 quick as you want, and then we'll skim through Vince. We'll skim through Vince.
Yeah.
We're
All right, man. So real quick.
Yep, go ahead, boy.
Yeah, real quick. A couple of quick hitters, man.
Talk to me, bro.
No particular order. But so check this out. So there's currently this funny thing going on that, remember how TNA, they went back to being TNA, right? They're no longer Impact, they're back to being TNA, new belts, start over. They're they're getting this thing back on track.
I still haven't watched, by the way.
Right. Well, last week in the ratings, TNA came within 100, I think it was like almost 100,000, give or take, of hitting that AEW rating.
That AEW rating is like what, 700K?
Well, so it dropped. Yeah, last week it dropped for whatever reason to 7K, and so TNA at that point had hit a high 6 something.
Good for them. Good for them. What are they normally like 2? No, I thought you showed it. You showed it to me the other day. They hit like only like a couple 100,000.
Yeah, it's something because they 2. They typically barely hit 100.
Oh, is that is 2? Is 2
what?
too
They
much?
were hitting like 70,000 at one point. Remember, there was sometimes they weren't even getting reported anymore.
I didn't think it was that bad. I'm sorry.
No, like
Go ahead, my bad.
So they've been growing in the ratings apparently, and it's getting to a place where people are like, holy cow, they may have an actual legitimate run for their money, that they may start taking over. They may be the joke has been that they're going to start beating Collision, because Collision's been hitting 300,000.
Nobody wants Collision, bro.
So apparent Collision and what's the other one? What's the Rampage?
Oh God.
So folk feel that that TNA could slowly start to, because not Dynamite. They're not hitting 7. I don't think they're going to hit 700K. Before, that's when you said I was saying the numbers out loud. I'm like, that's not right. It was whatever the Collision hit an all-time low of 300 or 200K the other night.
They're competing with Saturday Night Collision.
And TNA is getting numbers for the small number it is.
No. That's embarrassing. Oh my God.
And so people are starting to create the joke online, and the joke and the analysis now, as the many fan, as the tribalism gets, is arguing that TNA is making a run for that number 2 spot again.
I'm coming for that number 2 spot. Bro, listen. If Collision is doing so bad that TNA is catching up with it, and TNA is on a if I ain't got the channel, I don't know it exists, and Collision is on everybody's cable. I mean, what's that show? I don't think Collision's working, bro. Right? Am I bugging?
That show's got down to 300K.
And I remember you were singing his praises in the beginning.
Oh,
like,
I love
the wrestling show.
The Punk era. The Punk era. Yeah.
Fair enough. That's right. Punk
so what do you say? Is there ever a world you think TNA starts to beat anything produced by AEW in the ratings?
Sure. Why not?
Yeah. You think there's possibilities for them?
TNA will have to do so. Well, as that meme you sent me, TNA is working with the E in some form of fashion. I'm not going to say, well, they have a working relationship. I'm not going to say that, because working relationship is like what New Japan and AEW have. That's a working relationship. But WWE has branched out. What happens if what's my guy who was just in Japan?
Oh, Nick
Dempsey. Or Dempsey. Dempsey. What if it's Dempsey versus
Charlie Dempsey.
Josh Alexander? Charlie Dempsey. I said Jack. Jack
Charlie,
Dempsey's, I think, a boxer. Jack
Dempsey's
a boxer.
Dempsey's an old school boxer.
Old school boxer, way back. Charlie Dempsey versus Josh Alexander. Main events, TNA Impact on a Thursday night.
Oh, I'm there for it yesterday.
Okay. They'll plug it on that NXT. Tell you to go tune into Access.
Yeah.
Who's getting that rub? Right?
It's exciting.
Ain't getting that rub. You never know, right? They can send some ladies down there to work some of those other girls down there. You never know what could happen, right? What if they were really impressed by Jordan Grace and they're like, man, we should send somebody down?
Well, they were. Triple H was impressed by her. During the scrum, he talked about it and said he was really impressed by her.
Yeah, he did. I do remember that. So, like, it's possible. It's possible, brother. I think it can happen. If AEW continues at the trend they're going, look at the trend, right? They peaked.
800K. 800K is their peak.
They peaked. And it's never getting any higher than that unless something drastic happens. I don't think that's going to happen, man. They got their fan base. That's it. That's really it. Unless they make some guy who leaves the WWE and they get some big old signing. Edge couldn't even move the needle.
Nope.
That's the crazy part. Because I remember when he showed up at Wrestle Dream, I said, whoa, this is big. No, it's not. No, it's not, bro.
It was big for the night.
Facts. I can see it happening. If TNA is trending in the right direction, somebody's got to go this way. Somebody's got to go that way, brother. So I can see it happening. When? Yeah. I'm not sure. So go ahead.
All right. So there we go. So then in your opinion, there could be a chance. We could see a day where TNA might actually be in an AEW produced program.
What say you? Do you think?
No, I think the TNA's hit a little hot run, and I think that it'll be over as fast as it started. So if I'm being, well, let me not say that. I'm being a little mean about that comment. But if I really get, like you said, they're working with the Fed now, and I think the Triple H and them like being open about it and honest about it, having that title on their TV. I think it'd be tough to say that there won't be a little bump and enough of a bump that might make a difference in their business. So yeah, I'll say. So I don't know if it'll ever beat them, but I think that it should start to nip on their heels a little bit and make them scared.
So the Rumble was this past Saturday, right? 27th. Jordan Grace hasn't been seen on TNA television yet. It's today. Do you think they get a bump if she's on TV and she's main eventing tonight? But who knows if that's happening, right? Like, who knows? They don't advertise, right? So it's not like.
Well, unfortunately, we don't watch it like that. So I won't even begin to.
I tried.
Like, oh yeah,
I tried.
I can't.
I tried, and this happened.
Indeed.
So
all right. So we'll see.
Let's go.
All right, man. Next topic.
Ooh, I'm hungry.
Real quick. Ugh. Julia. We all know Julia. She's one of the biggest. She is the biggest international female wrestling star in the world.
Yeah, she is.
Julia. She is the biggest. I don't know her that well, but
I've never seen her work. But
I've read of her. Everything that talks about her says she is the biggest name in stardom. The biggest woman with the biggest female name wrestler, etc. And regarded by many people as the
I'll try and get some stuff so we can put it in the background while you talk about it.
Real quickly, SRS has said that he was told by AEW that she stiffs the heck out of people. Willow, being thicker than a pillow, Willow, your bae,
my bae. Damn right.
Allegedly had to miss an Owen Hart tourney match because she was being so stiff from Julia. That AEW's Joshis are so heavily affiliated with Ice Ribbon, a promotion that Julia forced her way out of, and a lot of ways of Joshis disrespected on the way out. And she's not well regarded by a lot of people in the industry because of that. And there are more others in-depth reasons, but they're too publicly are enough for people to believe that AEW decided against her. And so apparently in adding context to this, SRS has stated, I heard from two different people and one who was a neutral party that Julia allegedly beat the hell out of Willow during their match, which Willow allegedly did not object to. Working stiff is working stiff.
That's right.
It was that Julia allegedly showed no remorse following the match. The specific complaint I've heard was that Julia didn't check on her after the match. Her alleged reputation is something that WWE is aware of and believe are better positioned to handle that than AEW.
So I just put it on the screen. This is her going up against current WWE superstar Kairi Sane.
Correct.
We can just keep talking about it.
This is when Kairi beat her. I remember that was the match with Kairi, right? That's the match with Kairi that everybody talked about, no?
Yeah, I think this is from 22.
I think that's the one I tried to watch, and I kept telling myself I would watch, but I never did it.
This was from 7 months ago.
Yep.
Right
this
before
was the match that I told myself I was going to watch. I never saw it, but I now I did. I see that's Julia. Wow.
Give me 1 second. I'm getting hunger pangs. It's killing me right now.
Okay.
But Jesus Christ, it hurts.
So the thing about this, Franny, is that the Fickle Mistress was all hot, and everyone was saying, "Oh my goodness,
Oh,
I
yeah.
can't wait. We got Okada and Julia
Hottest free
coming."
agent. Oh yeah, AEW is
But
gonna
as
thrive.
of the last 24, since Julia's announced that she wants to leave to go to America, all indications say that she wants to go to WWE. And since it seems like Tony Khan has expressed no interest, or as I think, he reached out and she said, no, thank you. And like that fan base is, right? I think that they're coddled by a lot of their media. So their media's prepared them and said, listen, those grapes up there, you can't reach. They're sour as heck. So trust me, you don't want them. They're not as green or as purple as the ones that we can reach down here. So those are sour. And they've turned what is legitimate has been for so many of them, their greatest, the Kenny Omega of their of the female generation. They now hate her because she doesn't want to go play with the rest of them in AEW and she wants to go to NXT. Now, I don't know much about her, but all signs say that she needs to go to NXT because she could be a big star. What say you, sir?
Okay, Vern, I'm glad you just said that. She needs to go to NXT because she needs to be a big star. So we have her on the screen. I look at Julia. Julia, to me, looks like a WWE superstar. Okay. I see her. She even in this match that I'm watching right now, she gives me the look of a WWE superstar. Where did this other girl come from? I thought this was a singles match. I don't know what's going on here. I guess it's a fatal four-way. These girls came out of nowhere. I definitely skipped ahead, so I have no idea. But all I'm saying is she looks like a WWE superstar. I've been watching her movements as you've been talking. Excuse me. The girl got it. I could see it. All the no selling, all that stuff, that's big in Japan, whatever. But as far as her movements, her footwork, I can see it. She's got it. She's really got it. So for her to go to the WWE, then go to NXT and learn the style, the TV style that you're going to have to learn when you go there, I think would be her best bet. That whole nonsense, oh my God, that whole nonsense of, AEW doesn't want to sign her because she's stiff, I think is cap. Because if Willow didn't complain, who's complaining? Because she had to miss a match? That's why AEW is like, no, I can't. I don't want her on my screen. I don't want her on my TV. When dudes are getting stiff left and right on AEW television, why is that blocking it from happening, right? See, I have no idea what's going on right now, Vern.
Yeah.
Because it's like a 20-some-odd minute match. It says something about a restart. I have no idea what's going on. I have no idea what's going on.
Got me.
But I just put it on for us to have some kind of background while we talk about her. Because we don't have much on her that we know. I don't know, Vern. I look at her. I think she has the look that can sell tickets. No?
Yeah.
I think she can move the needle. I think she could.
And you think her being too stiff, that's something I think that if it's true, if she's too snug, then I think you can teach that in the Fed. You can teach
something you can teach people how to lighten up, brother.
Yep.
Okay. You're getting paid all this money. We need to make it to the next night. Okay. We need to make it to the next building. We need to make it to the next arena. Relax. Okay. Relax. It's easy to say. I'm just saying, hey, I hope all the AEW talk is gone, and that's where she goes to the E.
No.
So that's just
all right, man. Last one for me. And if you could pop up this picture for me. Pop this picture up on the screen. And what a great photo. And in this photo, this is post Rumble, and it's a photo of Triple H with Jade Cargill.
That's not working.
Triple H with Trinity.
It's not working.
Or Naomi, excuse me, right? She goes by Naomi now. She's back to her gimmick name.
Yeah, she's Naomi. So, I'm trying to be the hand for Triple H.
Triple H with Naomi and Triple H pointing with Liz Morgan. And the tweet says the landscape of the at WWE's women's division was altered last night. The connections that these three have with the universe is undeniable, and I have a feeling that their momentum will be unstoppable. And again, that's Jade Cargill, Liv Morgan, and Naomi.
Naomi, back. So, talk to me, Bern.
Franny, I saw this, man, and I got excited.
Yeah,
it's a new beginning for WWE. Triple H is seriously thrown himself feet first into truly changing the face of this company, changing the face of this locker room, and creating what Cody Rhodes has described as being
The team
such
environment.
a team environment. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's like such a team environment that everyone wants to succeed. And to think that Jade Cargill, have you been seeing the way she smiles in photos? There's
Oh, I
people do
forgot to play the
comparisons.
video. Go
Yeah,
ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
yeah.
Go
No,
ahead.
but her
I'll end the show
her
with that.
attitude is so different now.
Yeah. Oh,
And
yeah.
it could just be that because she's here in WWE, right? Not in AEW. But I also think that it could be that she's got that media training now that says, yo, there's a way to act, present yourself, etc. Or maybe now, right? She doesn't feel that she can be that or have to carry on that character of like the arrogant character, etc. Because every interview I've seen so far of her, she's likable as all heck. She's a very likable person. She's very intelligent, very, very charming. She comes across very much an interesting person. And like,
Look at
she's
the
beautiful.
smile. Look at
She's
that
beautiful.
big, beautiful smile
That
of hers.
smile that she has there is not a smile she had in AEW.
I don't think I've ever seen that smile in AEW. She looks very happy to be here.
Yeah, man. I think you're seeing women, somebody who's going to excel because she's in a program that works. She got a chance to go from
We
street
said it
ball,
about a year ago.
playing at the Rucker to now she's playing in the league.
Imagine that. Imagine all we said was once the WWE gets a hold of her, she'll be fine. And here we are. That's the beauty of the show. That's why I like the show,
TV,
man.
and it's like, wow.
Training down at the PC.
Yeah.
That's all
Liv Morgan, like we said, Liv Morgan was a while. I called her the female Cena. And in terms of all the Make-A-Wish stuff she was doing, the way she was a super over baby face of the crowd. Happy to see her back. And Naomi left to learn a new hold, proved she didn't need Mercedes Moné to be her friend, and proved that she was worth booking.
Why you have to say
Congratulations to her, because it's the truth.
Because remember how we talked about it? We were like, "Yo, Trinity felt like she got left for dead," and then she showed up on NXT. I mean NXT TNA. We're like, huh? Like, wait,
and
okay.
we were like, huh? We're like, okay, dang, this is a struggle job, and she showed, I'm gonna struggle. I'm gonna struggle my way through it till I make it, and good for her. Good for her. She made a comeback, and she deserves it.
Now, let me ask you this. Do you think maybe she could have been a catalyst as to why WWE and TNA have a working relationship with each other now?
Possibly. Why not?
Yeah. Possibility, right? As a
why
way
not,
in.
right? Yeah.
Who knows?
Hey, man.
They took care of one of ours because remember, she was a NXT girl. She joined NXT and was trained by the WWE. So that's one of theirs.
Yep.
And they took care of her and they didn't make her look bad at all. So they were probably like, I kind of like what they're doing down there.
They took care of her and protected her the entire
way in Nashville.
Great run.
Yeah. So yeah, I think we're in good shape for women's wrestling in the future. And
shout out, look, I got on a Sarah Del Rey, one of her old indie shirts, Sarah Del Rey, the queen of wrestling, yo.
She fell on us once, remember?
I put it on just to big up women's wrestling. Me as a guy who sometimes is very critical of it, women's wrestling was shining during that Rumble, and they deserve all the flowers for it.
So let me ask you this one thing: Do you think women's wrestling is the best it's ever been? Women's professional wrestling, as far as in ring, how they're represented, overall.
I think that we're getting there. I don't know if we're there yet, but I think that we're moving to the next age, because I think NXT is doing something great too. And NXT is finding a way to include that sexuality part of wrestling that is often not showcased so heavy on the main roster that Sean gets away with on NXT that you can't on for some reason, right? That the sponsors won't allow on Raw and SmackDown.
Yeah, well, we're moving to Netflix next year too. Wow, we didn't even think of that, Vern.
Mm-hmm.
Things that can happen on Netflix because it's not cable television. You've got your ads, man. Oof. Okay, let's talk about things you're not supposed to do on television or in life, period. Shall we, Vern? We're here.
Yeah, man.
Shout out to the women. We love y'all. Right, Vern? We love the ladies.
100%.
Let's start off this part by saying, we love the ladies. We respect them. We honor them. And we have no ill will towards them, right? Let's get that out right now. All right. Let's just make sure we get that out right now. So
yeah, and just because some of this discussion and again, we're both too two heterosexual males just having this conversation. So in some form of this, or some of this feels misogynistic, etc. We do it in no way, shape, or form with intention to be misogynistic or come across in such a way. So we do say that as handling this is because of I've heard a lot of people talk about the subject and I cringe sometimes. I'm just like, like
you're like, oh, they're talking like they're in the locker room, right?
Correct. Like relax, guys. Like that don't
Like, slow
it's
down.
not so we will say that due to the sensitive nature of this topic, there is some of this that we're not trying to sit here and giggle and laugh at all the salacious things that go on in this article because this is serious. And most of all, this is allegedly, friends. Everyone has to remember
it's all alleged.
Someone who's filed a court document that we have privy to read.
Right.
It's not this is the truth. This is what happened. And now I'm just coming here to tell you all about it. This is my version of the truth. And Vince has denied, to start us all off, Vince has denied all this vehemently and says that he will be exonerated.
Never happened. Right. And so
we'll see.
So let's start off with, I love the fact that we live in the great United States because all stuff like this is, but might as well call it public domain. Everybody,
it's public record. Yeah, well, it's public record. Yeah.
Public record. Anybody and everybody can see this as long as you have access to it. I mean, I bet you could probably go to the District Court of Connecticut and say, I need case file 324 CV the 00090, which was filed on January 25th. So I'm not going to any article, Vern. I'm not going to any dirt sheet. I'm not going to the memes. I'm not going to the GIFs. Sorry, GIFs, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Is it GIF like the peanut butter? There's GIF like the peanut butter.
We had that discussion already. I'm going straight to the source, the court document filed by Janelle Grant, plaintiff against the World Wrestling Entertainment Incorporated, now known as World Wrestling Entertainment LLC, Vincent K. McMahon, and John Laurinaitis. She is demanding a jury trial, where her attorney is demanding a jury trial. So she's the plaintiff, Janelle Grant. I'm not going to read it all because we'd be here forever. It's 67 pages. It's a lot. Thankfully, Vern, you highlighted some of the crazy stuff that's said. But I'm just going to start off with reading 1 through 3, points 1 through 3. Plaintiff Janelle Grant is a former employee of WWE who was a victim of physical and emotional abuse, sexual assault, and trafficking at WWE. Ms. Grant is filing this lawsuit not just to address her own suffering, but also to act for those who are afraid to speak out. WWE's billionaire founder and executive chairman, defendant Vincent K. McMahon, lived in a penthouse duplex in Ms. Grant's apartment building. The two met in March 2019 when Miss Grant was dealing with profound grief and struggling financially. After devoting years to around-the-clock caregiving, her parents passed away. On top of that, she was unemployed and her family home was lost in her parents' bankruptcy. I feel like that's enough background. There's more. If you want to read it, trust me, it's on the internet. It won't be hard to find. If you want to read it all, be my guest. I literally read all 67 pages today. And I was like, wow. So go ahead.
And please do. But now I was just going to say, and if you are going to comment on it, you are going to have an opinion on it. Like Franny and I just said, don't just go by what someone has told you. The document's available. I read this the day this document dropped. I read all 67 pages. I made highlights to it. I made notes to it because the whole thing is nuts. But everyone has walked away from this document ready to set fire to people's houses and careers and lives, etc., etc.
On both ends too, which is
on both ends. Yes, on both ends. And I think that it's not smart to run off and jump off the hinge when you haven't read the document. Read the thing and hear what it's about, Franny.
Correct. Okay, so I'm gonna just hit the highlights. Literally your highlights. Point 6. McMahon befriended Miss Grant, giving her hopes of a new life with promises of yet to be determined role at WWE and showering her with attention and assurances, along with gifts like a VIP experience at WrestleMania. But what seemed like a dream in the spring of 2019 quickly became a nightmare. Point 7. As McMahon dangled career-making and life-changing promises in front of Miss Grant, he demonstrated an increasing lack of boundaries. During several meetings that were ostensibly about a potential job at WWE, he greeted her in his underwear, touched her, repeatedly asked for hugs, and spent hours sharing intimate details about his personal life. Point 8. McMahon warned Miss Grant to keep their closeness a secret, lest rumors lead to public trouble, and added that, while he protects loyal people, he had world-class legal resources on speed dial to deal with people who became a problem. And this last highlight before we talk about it, Point 9, as such, when McMahon pushed Miss Grant for a physical relationship in return for long-promised employment at WWE, she felt trapped in an impossible situation, submitting to McMahon's sexual demands or facing ruin. Miss Grant feared she had everything to lose and faced negative consequences no matter what happened. So she was between a rock and a hard place. This billionaire is offering me all these promises. I'll take, you get to go to WrestleMania. And she wanted to bring in like her resident manager or something like that, right? You get to go to WrestleMania. I'll make sure you have the nicest seat. You're gonna have a job with me. And from what the documents say, it's really out the kindness out of Vince's heart, right?
Apparently.
As it starts.
Well,
as it starts.
So we have to say, right? So friends, remember this document. The point of this document is to paint a narrative, and this document's painting a great narrative of this doe-eyed innocent woman that, by all intents and purposes, Vince
manipulated
is right. Like that's the way this thing paints it off. Is that this poor, destitute, just this woman
down on her luck,
who was just begging for a lifeline, and Vince is this billionaire that came along and said, "I'll give you anything you want." But you need to submit to be like, apparently, right? You need to be my plaything. Like the way it's worded, that like line 9, that's why I highlighted submitting to McMahon's demand, sexual demands, or facing ruin.
Okay.
Like it paints a picture that's just like, wow.
I'm trying not to giggle.
Monster.
I'm trying not to giggle,
man.
Remember how you just said you want a disclaimer that if we giggle or laugh, we don't mean it in any bad way.
Sure.
I'm giggling about something because what I just realized is, have you ever seen 50 Shades of Grey? You probably have never.
No, never.
I went with my wife, watched 50 Shades of Grey. This is very similar to 50 Shades of Grey, except the girl was a journalist. She's a journalist who met a man, a billionaire, who then sexually advanced on her, has weird kinks, but this girl succumbed to it. It was never sexual assault or harassment on 50 Shades of Grey because that's not a juicy book. It's not a juicy book. But this is the reality of what could happen if a billionaire would take over. Allegedly.
But I think you're right, Franny. I think, but it isn't. So I've never seen 50 Shades of Grey, but it's bondage and such like that, right?
Yeah, it gets weird. Like, I checked out. It gets weird.
But this is the same. But this is the same idea. If you think about it, this whole situation here, it's not bondage, but it's you know.
Did you highlight those?
Yeah.
Oh, you did. You did. Point 20. I see it.
Yeah, man. No,
go ahead. I wanted you to finish your point. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, that this is just this is the same idea though. It shows what happens with unlimited amounts of money, and unfortunately what it will do to people's judgment. And I truly think that this person, whatever place they found themselves in, man, they really thought that it's only sex or whatever, and they didn't realize the true cost of what it is to you know what that costs, right? To accept these things. Because man, like and again, based on this story, the way the story is written, wow, she's facing homelessness, you know, she's down on her luck, she's got nothing, and then this benevolent man offers you all this stuff,
right? In exchange for
what? Having to listen to his creepy stories, allegedly listen to some stories.
Look at him in his underwear.
Look at him in his underwear, and you get all this stuff. It paints a very horrible story, and it paints a recipe for like, yes, this person was this happened because, man, this guy.
I hate to say this, but some people have done a lot worse for OnlyFans money.
Yeah.
So let me move on. Point 16. You highlighted one sentence here. Given McMahon's I can never say that word right. Omnipotent. Thank you. I always say omnipotent or something. Omnipotent position at WWE, coercion was inherent in his increasingly depraved sexual demands. Coercion was inherent. Like, it's just like, I mean, it's bound to happen, bro. Like, you can't stop it.
It's building a case. It's building a case.
At point 20, this is where it gets crazy. As one, and I apologize for anybody who gets a sick stomach right here, because it only gets worse. Point 20, as one example of McMahon's extreme depravity on May 9th, 2020. Granted, COVID, deep in the pandemic. We're in it now, right? The shutdown. Ain't nobody supposed to be seeing nobody. Staying in your homes. Remember that. That's this time. On May 9th, 2020, he defecated on Miss Grant during a threesome and then commanded her to continue pleasuring his friend with feces in her hair and running down her back while McMahon went to the bathroom to shower off. Upon his return from the bathroom, McMahon and his friend actively resumed the threesome, which lasted over an hour and a half while Miss Grant remained covered in McMahon's filth. With McMahon's friend left, McMahon ordered her to stay and continue to sexually gratify him. Thoughts, Vern? The first thing you think of when you hear that?
Vince has a strange obsession with poop. He
He
likes to
always
laugh
has.
at poop jokes,
He
fart
always
jokes,
has.
and this doesn't feel as shocking as it should, I guess. Why is that a thing that I'm like, yeah, that makes sense?
That sounds like Vince, right? That's the bad part about it, because you hear this and you want to continue to say allegedly. But as you go on, it's like, damn, this sounds like something Vince would do, because Vince has always put poop and thinks poop is funny, like you said. And it's like, damn, man, it's hard for me not to believe this girl.
That he likes he
Right.
has to find some kind of sexual gratification in it too.
Of course.
That's not too
Of
far.
course.
That's not
It's
too
not
far
too
removed.
far from what he, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
One sentence you got here in point 24. Ultimately, Miss Grant succumbed to the pressure and signed the NDA in exchange for payments, which McMahon later stopped making. And you can get
And the
all the
reason
details
I
of the
highlighted
NDA.
that, yeah, the reason I highlighted that
Mhm.
was just that. That's the thing that this is all about, is that Vince stopped paying her, and that's what
Oh,
that's the heart of this, is that Vince stopped paying her, so now she wants her money, and that's why now she's come out with all this, and that's something
let's keep it a bean.
yes,
Let's
that's
keep it a
it. Like
bean.
that's the part that I think that a lot of people missed out on. That this isn't just about someone seeking righteous indignation. This is someone saying, "Yo, you said you're going to pay me X amount of dollars to not talk about this, and you didn't pay
And you
me. So
didn't.
now I want you to pay me that money you owe me, so I won't." Yeah, no, actually, I've told everyone about it, so I still want that money.
Too late. Too late. Well, it's on Vince. Vince breached the contract. But did Vince's assets get seized during that whole deal? No, because there was no police involvement. So they wouldn't seize assets during that investigation. So he had money to blow.
Well, if you read the NDA, the NDA is
The
one-sided.
NDA was crazy. The NDA is
The NDA
crazy.
is insane. It's all
It
one-sided.
says
All
you
benefits
don't talk.
Vince.
You don't ever talk. You don't ever talk. Listen, I don't even want you to breathe a word. I don't even want you to think about what we did. Okay? Don't you ever again. Sign here, please. Listen, I need it done by the 28th. I know I said the 1st, but I need it done by the 28th. You know what?
Yo.
Can we do it for tonight, right now? Sign right now. I'm gonna, yeah. So, yeah. Can I move on? Point 63. You moved on.
Go ahead.
We're going to, I think we're getting to the point of where Vince starts to do his text messages, allegedly.
Yeah, this is titled section McMahon arranges for Mrs. Grant to be hired by WWE while
this is point
beginning
B,
to groom
right,
her for sexual exploitation.
Thank you. And then point 63, it's in quotes.
This is just, I just wanted to quote this because this is an example of what Vince allegedly would text her. Frank, this creeped me out. This is why I had problems with this, because I'm like, how could he write like this? Please say what this says.
I'm going to say exactly how it looks, okay? I'm just going to read the first part, because she texted McMahon about meeting with, and they don't say the name because they're not in the suit, WWE corporate officer number 2. She was who she did her interview with. She said something about the dinosaur skull in McMahon's office, which everybody knows about the dinosaur skull, right?
Mm-hmm.
McMahon responds in text, and I quote, BTW, if you're, spelled U-R, a capital bad girl, the T-Rex will eat you. Capital U. Then he sends another text. Seriously, Janelle, whenever you, capital, land in WWE, you, capital, will be a credit to the organization. What did he mean by that? Wherever
If he's
you
trying to be
land in the
faithful,
WWE.
yeah, fine. But why does Vince text like a 16-year-old edgelord?
Yo, no, he texts like my 13-year-old cousin. That's
That's what I'm saying. Like that. This is where I struggled with the
I can't-
case, right? Is the text message part is where I struggled the hardest with the whole thing. Because the text don't. He's 78. Who
He was
taught him how to
74 at the
text?
time.
Oh, sorry, he's 74 at
He
the
was
time.
seven.
Who
He was
taught him how
73
to
at the time.
text? Explain this to me. Why does
but
Vince say
now-
BTW?
But hold on. What's crazy is, have you ever heard the boys talk about Vince, how he texts and emails?
No,
It's that way. Mick Foley has talked about it.
really?
How he does text messages. I believe Edge has on his podcast. I'd have to look for it.
I didn't know
This
that.
this is very reminiscent of how Vince texts people. This is not talking how he's talking to her, but using that kind of speech, like because people are like, Vince texts like he's a teenager. People have said that.
I've never
Yes,
heard that
bro.
before. Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm telling you, I gotta find the source. Hopefully, I can
Wow.
find it. I
Yikes.
gotta remind myself to find it. But I'm
Yikes.
like,
Yikes.
so I'm like, that word allegedly starts to creep away out of my vocabulary the more I went down this point. All right. So okay, you've got another point here in point 67. You highlighted
More acts of grooming, yeah, because I started seeing like again, she was showing off this how McMahon groomed her in this role.
McMahon reminded her that he was working hard on her role and said he felt good about her taking care of him.
Apparently, during his grooming process, Franny, right? Like she was his like assistant, and that she physically was just there helping him get around, helping him satisfy his sexual. Like she became, according to this, his personal sexual plaything.
Well, here he was only in his drawers. We had to give the premise there. He was only in his drawers because she went to his walk-in closet. So then he asked her to help him with the shirt, to help with the
dressed.
buttons.
Yep.
Now, unless Vince got that, my grandfather had it. Unless he's got the shakes, that Parkinson's, I'm pretty sure you don't forget how to do that. Now, why would you have a girl come to your house and you in your drawers and you want her to button for you? Big manly, big ego, barrel-chested Vince McMahon, come touch me, come put my buttons on, because she'll have to go down your body, right? She'll have to go down your body. So, yeah, that's the allegedly is the further I go down the page, the allegedly tends to disappear. Okay,
They start to
point
get
70.
weirder. Yeah,
Right.
and at this point, I just started highlighting weird stuff now. At this point,
Okay. Point 70, April 21st, 2019. She came for an update. Yep, be in touch with her soon. For many months, it was. I forgot to mention that. For many months, we're working on it. We're working on it. We're working on it. And I think eventually he was like, well, damn, if I want this to continue, I gotta give her a job now. That's what it felt like. So I'm gonna read this.
Franny, I guess what I keep struggling with is what part of her didn't the red flags go off that he just kept stringing her along, right? That's the part of the story that I hate, is that there's some part of this where like you have to ask her, like, ma'am, what were you doing in it? Like at no part did you ever stop and think something feels strange here, something feels not right, something feels inappropriate, something feels like it shouldn't be. Like, you telling me you got this job for me and you're stringing me along for 9 months when she was homeless, apparently?
No, not
like,
it's not that long. It's not that long.
But
like
regardless,
3 months. It's like 3 months.
But regardless, friend.
But still,
you know what I mean?
After like month 2, I'd be like, all right, Vince is BS, and he's a
every
billionaire,
week,
blah,
every
blah,
week
blah.
you're coming and weird stuff. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like every week, increasingly weird stuff keeps happening every week, and I'm just like, why didn't I don't know, and that's what I hate about
down
this,
on her luck. She had nowhere to go.
Like and like I said,
no.
This has to paint the narrative, right? And paint Vince to be this monster. But I hate that it paints her out to be this weird simpleton that, like, you didn't think anything was strange about any of these actions. Like, I hate that about the stories, that it really paints her to be this weird simpleton. And I just feel like she has to have had more agency for herself than this. This makes her just seem like she just went, help me.
She went, I'm an innocent child that doesn't know any better.
Yeah.
Okay, but let's keep going. Let's keep going. Point 70. Miss Grant
describing one of their encounters.
Yep, Miss Grant was told that the office would be in touch with her. This was April 21st. As she turned to leave, This is highlighted. McMahon grabbed a large black electric massager and told Miss Grant to turn around for a demonstration. He quickly moved to rubbing his hands on Miss Grant's upper back before reminding her that she would hear from his office about next steps in a day or two. So I know he probably had like one of those state-of-the-art massage guns. When they say large back electric massager, unless he's talking about large black electric massager that ladies use.
And the way the story goes as we read on, I think it may be the latter.
Maybe. Yeah. I think it might be the latter. I might just convince myself in my head right now.
I don't think it's a massage gun at all, actually.
Hold on. Let's see what happens when I type in electric massager on Google. Electric massager. My wife's going to be like, what are you searching? A massage gun. Okay. Massage guns pop up unsponsored. The first thing that pops up on Amazon, Vern, I can't show on here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
And there
let's just say it's a wand.
Yep.
So, okay, I'm with you already. All right, point 73. Let's see here.
Talk about an encounter they had on May 5th, 2019.
May 5th, 2019, she brought up how she always wanted to go to the Belmont Stakes, which is horse racing. It's one of the 3 majors for horses. You win the 3, you win the Triple Crown, you become that horse. Okay. McMahon said he would get 2 tickets for her, which she said she couldn't take. Of course, every person's like, no, he can't do that. You can't do that. I don't want you to do that for me. Because people most likely think if you do a favor like that for me, you're going to expect something in return, which is why people always go, no, until the person goes, stop, I persist, take it. It's no big deal. That's when you go, okay, I'll take it, right? McMahon then stood up from his chair and knelt in front of the chair where Miss Grant was seated, blocking her from standing. He leaned close to Miss Grant and told her to kiss him. Miss Grant paused and gave McMahon a kiss on the cheek, to which McMahon sighed, "That's not what I meant." Is that how he said it? Is that how he said it, Vern?
Apparently,
I shouldn't be laughing.
Man.
I shouldn't be laughing. I'm
Apparently
sorry.
so.
I'm sorry, but that's what he said. Okay. Let's move on. 75. Okay, hold on. I think this is all the same encounter, right?
Yep, it's all the same encounter. Yep. This is what I just found interesting about the encounter, right? That does it seem like Vince?
Okay. She said you highlighted one part, but I have to say why you highlighted this.
Yeah.
Man walked to the bedroom and said, "Come on, Miss Grant." She said, No, I'm cool. I'm cool. And saying, "Hey, you're putting me in a bad spot." Miss Grant then said to stop and think about what he was doing. Point 75. I'm reading it. Every time I say point something, it is exactly what it says on the paper. If I lead off with something else, that's just me going off the cuff. Point 75. McMahon then begged repeatedly simply to hold Miss Grant. Point 76. Out of fear for her employment and his earlier implied threats about his legal team dealing with problems, which we didn't mention, Miss Grant laid down in bed next to McMahon. Oh, that's right. And kept her hands clasped and ankles crossed. I'm actually doing this position right now underneath my desk too. And she acquiesced in saying that he could only hold her, but nothing more. Vince definitely did a little bit more. We don't have to get into that, but he did a little more. He tried. She got up and bounced. The next day, you highlighted this, point 78. The next day, Miss Grant watched the show as promised and texted McMahon to wish him well. She was shocked when he appeared on the show and texted back in the middle of the live broadcast, "That was a very nice message." Smiley face. Made me smile. 2 smiley faces. Vern, on the 9th, she got a job. She was told she got a job. The very next day, she got a job. Go ahead. Talk to me.
Mm-hmm. No. Go ahead. Keep going.
You want me to keep going?
It gets weird. It's just, yeah.
Point 83. I will premise with Vince with another visit to his condo. So the 9th, he said, "You're getting your job soon." The 10th, she got a call from corporate officer number 4 saying, "Welcome to the WWE." The 11th, McMahon said, "Come on back to my condo," and asked to lay in bed with him before telling her that he had corporate officer number 4 offer her the job, even though the job description had not been firmed up beyond a high-level summary. So she got a job that didn't really exist.
Correct.
Right?
That's
what I'm getting.
That's a huge premise here, is that he gave her a fake job, basically.
Gave her a fake job. What was it
just
called?
to keep her
Administrator or
around so he could
coordinator.
use her.
80.83. While incredibly excited to finally receive long-awaited employment and financial security, Miss Grant expressed to McMahon that there seemed to be a conflict between his doing this and his warning to Miss Grant that no one could know about their closeness. He appeared amused with this by replying, "It's my company." McMahon then undressed down to his briefs while Miss Grant remained clothed, and he began kissing Miss Grant and inserting his hands into her pants without consent. 5 days later, he got 2 tickets for her for the Belmont Stakes. The next day, she got her job role as legal administrator coordinator with a salary of $75,000. Vern, real quick before we move to the next point, if this is all true, how ballsy is it of McMahon to say, I got all these people in legal, and then put her in the legal portion of his company where at any moment she could become a liability?
It was either really stupid or he has some kind of plan with this, because, man, I tell you what, yikes.
0.87. You got a sentence. McMahon touted WWE employee number 1's loyalty, saying that WWE employee number 1 would be able to protect Miss Grant, and then led her to his bedroom while giving her the command of, "Please don't stop this." Who's WWE employee number 1? What did you get off that?
The rumor is it's Mark Carano.
Okay. Didn't he wind up leaving?
Yeah, Mark Carano, or I don't know, Mark Carano or whatchamacallit. Yeah, Mark Carano, because it was like WWE people. So he's either Carano and then one of them is alleged to be.
Would they say Bruce? Probably not.
I'm trying to think of one of them is Bruce. Yeah, one of them, I think some people are saying one is Bruce, one is Mark Carano, one is Laurinaitis, which she names.
When Laurinaitis is named. So, okay. 0.88. During the May 18, 2019 encounter, Miss Grant felt coerced into engaging in sexual activity, and that McMahon had trapped her in an impossible situation as she feared adverse career and potential personal consequences and legal retaliation if she declined his advances. McMahon stated, "This is what I've been waiting for," as he performed oral sex on Miss Grant. Miss Grant asked that protection be used, and McMahon responded that there was no need to be worried because he was clean. 0.89. Feeling that she was being used for his gratification, Miss Grant went numb and was unable to make eye contact. McMahon then flipped on his back and said, "Okay, jack him off." Vern, I can hear him say that, man. As bad as my Vince McMahon voice is, I can hear Vince say that. Wrinkly old 73-year-old Vince McMahon laying on his back. "Okay, jack him off." Can you not?
I know, but like, man, it's so weird to think that Vince is that old and he can still move like this, you know?
0.90.
That's what disturbs me.
Disturbed by the non-consensual sexual encounter, she hoped that McMahon would cease his advances. But his advances continued and left her to fulfill his demands or lose her job. Okay. I've heard women explain how they go numb. I've seen it in like documentaries and stuff, how girls say they just went numb and they didn't feel anything anymore and stuff like that. So that's possible. Vern, I know the dangling carrot is the cash. You gotta have a conscience at some point that says this is wrong. This is wrong, right?
Yeah.
And no matter how much money I'm making, this is wrong.
Man, and it's just like, it's just like, I guess I don't know the psychological terrorist Vince must have been to like what he must have like psychologically done to her that he convinced her that this is okay, right? Like, because that's the part here that I'm just like, man, what power Vince must wield that this woman, you know, like I just think that some part of this is like, I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, unfortunately, like I said, I'm not going to victim blame here. I'm not going to say it's her fault. I'm not going to do anything.
No, it's not.
But I'm just going to say that the curious part here for me is just like, wow, like what what power Vince has, right? What power, or at least the way this narrative
Allegedly.
paints him.
Allegedly.
The way this specific narrative paints is a Vince that has this mind control over somebody, and it paints this woman to be this simpleton who she just never had the power of no, and anytime she felt that she could say no, he somehow could always figure out a way to just convince her not. And like, man, he broke her. The way this story paints her out to be, like,
oh yeah, he walked her down, bro. He walked her down.
But I just, wow.
Yeah.
If this is true, man, Vince.
Right. If they, what's that meme? If what they say is true, poor Vince.
Yeah.
Like poor Gunther.
Yeah,
poor
bro.
Okay.
If this is true in any way, shape, or form, but like I told you, like with you, I'm just like, man, what
at some
what
point
happened that at no
right.
point she could have been like, something's got to give here. Something's
so the
not
story,
right
the
here.
story paints she's helpless, right? She's helpless. She has nobody else. That's what you always have to remember in the beginning. She had nowhere else to go.
Yep.
She lost her parents.
Yep.
She lost the house. She's got
She
no
was
money.
A caregiver.
Right. So she sees all this money, like I said, the dangling carrot, and she's just like, I got to do whatever it takes. I mean, to be able to do that is something else in itself, because it's like you're letting it's really the money that's. We'll get there. Remember that point I was about to make. It's really the money that's controlling the situation. Yeah. We'll get there.
You may want to skip around though, because some of this part is just expanding on what you like. Because you read the intro was the overview, and then now you're just reading like really the nitty-gritty details on it. So
yeah, I want to leave.
You may not necessarily want to read all the stuff I highlighted, because it was just trying to highlight a lot of more of the shocking stuff that as I read through it.
Okay, I do want to read. I'm going to skip all these points here.
Yeah, because I just went through some of the points, and I'm like, I don't know if you want to read all of that stuff.
So which one? Okay. Okay, I'm going to point 107. You with me?
Yeah.
As detailed herein, McMahon was adamant about having Miss Grant send him explicit photographs, impressing upon her that it was part of her sexuality. Given the control that McMahon had over Miss Grant's employment, she felt compelled to comply and send the explicit photographs to McMahon's mobile device. Miss Grant was routinely assured that the photographs she was providing to McMahon were to remain private and were part of their quote-unquote secret world. Point 110.
Go to point 108. Go to point 108 real quick too, because this is also another one that's kind of
okay. Weird. McMahon began. I won't duck this because point 108. McMahon began to degrade Miss Grant, calling her quote his bitch, while hinting at fascination with having other people watch them engage in sexual activity. Okay, I have to read that. 110. Point 110. Notably, McMahon was most aggressive when using the certain sex toys named after male WWE wrestlers and performers. McMahon named the sex toys so that the color of the toy matched the race of the wrestler. For example, a black dildo would be named after an African-American wrestler, and a white dildo would be named after a Caucasian wrestler. In addition to McMahon's infatuation with pretending that other men, and namely certain WWE talent, were in the room with them, this was yet another incremental step in desensitizing Miss Grant to his fantasy and eventual demands that she perform sexual acts for and or have sexual contact with others within WWE. I could see that. I get it. If Vince is the rumor that she's claiming, he's naming these dildos wrestlers, and can again say, oh, do you like blah, blah, blah here? Mm-hmm. Well, I can really make that happen because I'm the boss. And then here comes a scheduled arrangement like he was doing with her. And here comes said wrestler.
Yep.
So I can see why she thought that.
This paints the narrative fits the way the narrative writes it. Wow, man. Like I just didn't know the 78-year-old man was like, right? Like this 70-year-old man could manipulate in such a way. Like that's the part that, again, I just feel like the lack of saying for her personal agency is what pisses me off in this whole thing, because I just feel like this whole thing just makes it seem like she's this brainless zombie that from day one, she walked in this nameless, faceless void that McMahon just saw and just said, oh, Your
just
mind,
molded
chicken
into
D.
what it is. Right.
Yeah,
Right.
and it's like it made. And if you told me this was about a 12-year-old kid, I'd be like, oh God, this creep.
This
But the
is
fact that
awful.
this is an attractive 23 or 25-year-old woman is just like, I don't know, y'all. Like
I've
y'all are
never
really
seen
like y'all are really making her seem like she's just this dummy, this poor dummy woman. And it's like I necessarily, I guess that's a part of the story
Oh, wow.
that really kind of annoys me, is that it paints her to be this doe-eyed dum-dum who the villain of the story found and swooped and got her. I think that it really lacks the agency she had in any of this in some way, shape, or form. I don't know.
Okay.
Like, is that wrong of me? Is that wrong of me to say this? Is that like my inner man talking? Like, I don't know.
No.
Like,
But I am gonna say one thing real quick. She may be able to vote. She may be able to drink, and she may be able to buy cigarettes and smoke them. 23 years old
yeah.
is still very childlike, in my opinion.
Okay.
You don't know the world yet at 23 years old, Vern. Me and you,
Yeah.
23
Yeah.
years old, you're talking the year 2007, 17 years ago. I ain't know the world, bro. I think
Yeah,
if
but
you dangled a carrot like that in front of me,
that's
I
what I
might do
mean.
something strange for a piece of change.
But I think that's it, right? I think that speaks more to just, right, not even to get that giant conversation, but it speaks more to that now. That we live in a generation where secret box or what's in my pocket, where that's a thing that people hope, oh my God, could that be me someday? Could the Mr. Beast guy come up to me and
And
hand me
Mr.
the
Beast,
box?
and then right. I'm with you. I'm totally with you on
So
that, bro.
that's why I feel like that's the part of this story that I didn't realize she was 23. I thought she was older.
She's
So the fact that she's
23.
23
And I
and you're
looked
like,
at her, she's a child, bro. I look at her, she's
okay,
a child.
then Franny, I feel like, man, that's the part. Then that's you said the carrot. Then the carrot is, did McMahon successfully figure out how to monetize that obsessive chase of this young generation of, I need to get it quick, fast, and as viral as I can, right? As instantaneous as overnight, I'm a billionaire. Overnight, my crypto coin bazillioned in its price, etc.
So I'm gonna say this.
Man,
Vince
that's
literally
crazy.
has people. Vince literally has people in place that analyze her age group.
Yeah.
For money, for pay. So he can be the most out of touch 70-year-old man ever. But if he pays attention to the board meetings where they say, man, the average 20-year-old is all about the almighty dollar, he's gonna go, I'm gonna take that into the
But
real
come
world.
on, but I feel like now you're making Vince out to be like a
I'm just
daggone,
saying.
like, I hear you, right? But it almost like, but then at that point it's like, well, is Vince a daggone super villain?
He's just
really
some evil.
super?
If let this paper tell it, he's the most evil man in the
does
world.
he sit there with a black cat stroking it and just can't wait for the next time he gets gadget? You know what I mean?
What's
like,
brain? I was just about to say it. You said it for me. I love that. I love you for that.
yeah, I don't know. That's just
The
what annoys me,
claw.
right? Because it just makes Vince seem like this all powerful villain, and it makes her like. But when you toss in the age, man, maybe you're right, Franny. Maybe there's some part of that age part I didn't consider.
I'm not going to read the in-depth detail of how he did what he did to her, the defecating part. I think I read it. I don't need to read it again.
Yeah, no. But you know what? The only thing I want to bring up with that is I think it's interesting that they won't name the celebrity fitness instructor that's with, by the way. That's not with just some nobody fitness guy. That's a celebrity fitness person.
Yeah, it says celebrity doctor. Celebrity
Yeah.
doctor. And then the physical therapist worked in his office. So I'm like,
So I think
how
that's
are they
weird.
not getting sued? Why are they not getting sued?
I think that's weird.
But it's okay. I mean, how hard could it be to find celebrity doctor in Connecticut who works on the stars? I mean, that should be easy to find. I'm not doxing. I don't care. Enough. But
I just
some
think
internet sleuth will get on it and find out.
There's something that's part of the story I didn't like. I didn't like that when it comes to this part, everyone just becomes all of a sudden no names, no nothing. You're just, why are we protecting these people? If these people are the monsters you've just painted them all to be,
They should all be outed.
Let's just name names.
Right.
If we're gonna name Vince and John Laurinaitis, name names.
I wonder why. Okay, so point 143, just real quick hitters. On one occasion, he instructed Miss Grant, do not knock on the door because if I see you, I will rape you in the hallway. Capital U's on those text messages. 144.144, to leave no doubt regarding the dynamic of their relationship, on May 12th, 2020, McMahon texted Miss Grant, "I'm the only one who owns you and controls who I want to fuck you." A theme that was often reiterated throughout their involvement. Vern.
Oh, by the
Did
way,
she-
did you hit point 132? I'm sorry, just to add to what you're just
Oh,
saying.
I skipped ahead.
Go hit 1.32 just to add to that. By the way,
Point 132. Oh, yeah, I shouldn't have skipped this. I kept going. Point 132. McMahon became the most important figure in Miss Grant's life as he meticulously asserted power and control over almost every aspect of it. Miss Grant's fears intensified over the consequences that could result from McMahon's actions, particularly by sharing her naked pictures. She became paranoid, completely dependent on, and worshipfully devoted to McMahon. He, in turn, pressed forward in exerting his power over Miss Grant as he saw fit. Real quick.
That's crazy.
Real quick. I know she says in this suit with her lawyer that Stephanie was the lead and they did their investigation, but they never spoke to her. And then Stephanie then steps down. Did Stephanie know about this? You think she knew about this? And she was like, "Dad, you effed up. I'm out. I'm out."
Maybe, man. Maybe. Who knows? You know, I don't think it's outside the realm of possibility.
Because it was very quick. It was Vince stepped down, Stephanie up. It was Stephanie, I'm taking a break. Vince stepped down, Stephanie up. Vince do the takeover, Stephanie gone. That's what the news told you. Vince did the hostile takeover, Stephanie was out. Why would Stephanie leave her dad's back? What would make Stephanie want to leave for good? Not the hiatus. Now it's for good because her dad's back. Maybe. I don't know. Should I do 149?
As I said, I don't think I'm gonna jump on that train just yet.
Not yet, right? More needs to come out. I'm just speculating.
I hear you.
I'm gonna skip point 149 unless you think I really need to say it. It just shows how vile Vince is. Allegedly.
No. It's fine. That's fine.
Again,
I think at this point, I think, friends, we've painted quite the picture, Vince. Like, there's more. The stories get weird. I mean,
I just want to go to the counts.
The defecation story was probably the weirdest one.
The worst. I think it's the worst.
Yeah, we read the worst.
I do want to go. I do want to go to Article 2, gifts given to plaintiff during time with WWE and association with McMahon. I do want to get to this part.
Yeah, go ahead.
Point 233, examples of the items received by Miss Grant from McMahon in 2019 included the following: alternative clinic medical care and medical and cosmetic services and products, clubhouse access tickets to the Belmont Stakes, WrestleMania private full-day transportation and premium tickets, a $2,000 Nordstrom gift card, and a massive box of Godiva, that's chocolates. Point 234, the same wording in 2020. Including the following: $20,000 towards surgery, paid directly to a surgeon's office. I wonder what. Pearl diamond pave lariat necklace from Betteridge in Greenwich, Connecticut. Can you look up Betteridge Jewelers in Greenwich, Connecticut? I just want to see what it looks like, high end, high profile, stuff like that. Blue cashmere knee-length cardigan from Nordstrom. Blue Burberry check cashmere scarf from Nordstrom. Blue cashmere fur and hat, gray cashmere shawl, Celine sunglasses, all from Nordstrom. A cable knit throw blanket. I don't know what that is.
This is a boutique store.
Like standalone or like in a mall kind of deal?
No, this is like on fancy, like Rodeo Drive kind of looking street, and it's Rolexes, Cartiers, Patek Philippe, and things like that. Yeah.
Okay. And okay.
It also has a bar area inside the jewelry store you can sit at.
Okay,
that's that kind of place.
Rich people go there. Only rich people go there.
That's what I'm saying. There's a bar inside the Rolex
Who needs
store?
that? Who needs that in the jeweler? While they're running your credit, you're gonna go have a shot of whiskey? Like what? Like, what's going on?
Yes, actually, you are. That actually, yeah.
That's exactly what they're gonna do. Large bouquets of flowers delivered approximately every other week. And then the next point 235 in 2021, she received a 2022 BMW 430 XL, if I'm not mistaken, is a crossover, right?
No, it's
Hold on.
XI.
Oh, XI. I said XL. My bad.
Yep.
XI. I am incorrect. That is a sedan. That is a coupe. It is a 2-door or 4-door coupe. It comes in. It's a 4 Series. That is a sports car. That is a whole sports car. Oh, I see where I messed up. I put 2002. 2022. There it is. Comes mainly in a coupe fashion, but you can get it in sedan style as well. Vern, the price of that vehicle starts, Blue Book, $45,200.
Wow.
That's for the 430i Grand Coupe. They don't say shit. That's the 430i, not the XI. It's the 430i, which is just entry level. So whatever he got her, whatever package is extra to get it to the XI, more than that, sir. Let's see. Let me just see real quick as I go on so we can then wrap this deal up. Yes. Let's see. Right now, a 2024 BMW 4 Series, the convertible is 58 grand. Just letting you know that. The coupe, 50. Okay, just off rip. $5,000 gift certificate from Landfear Spa. Something tells me it's probably next to that jeweler. 2 private chef catered dinners in McMahon's condo. That didn't get mentioned in the lawsuit. Ever.
I don't recall that story in there either.
No story about chef catered
Private dinners. Yeah, no stories about that.
I'm sure
there weren't many. The only story that she gave was getting the $2,000 gift cards. That's the only story I can think of where she got the
and
gifts.
the $15,000 Bloomingdale's.
And the Bloomingdale's, yeah, but she doesn't really give stories on how she got the rest of some of this stuff.
Yep, golden diamond paved paperclip necklace from Betteridge in Greenwich, Connecticut. Maybe she's waiting just to go on the stand and say that's those stories. $15,000 Bloomingdale's gift card after that encounter that we skipped ahead of with the physical therapist. Food assortment display and antique tea ceremony set from Saudi Arabia because he was flexing his muscle. He got that from Saudi Arabia. And large bouquets of flowers delivered approximately every other week. We will move on to our next point. Ooh, I think this is the conclusion. Let me see. The NDA. I think we covered the NDA. We don't need to go in depth with that. Literally, you don't get to say a word. I can say whatever I feel. You don't ever get to say a word about this again, and I'll pay you $3 million. That's what the NDA said, correct? You with me on that? Okay.
The NDA, that literally was the NDA. It was literally, you can say nothing. I can do whatever I want. If I ever find out you said something, I'll destroy you. I can do whatever I want.
I can do what I want. All right, let's move on. I'm glad you skipped all this because these are all the counts. So I'm just going to read the counts, not everything underneath it. Causes of action. Count 1, declaratory relief, NDA voided under Speak Out Act. And then there's a whole bunch of stuff against McMahon and WWE, like the actual court wording. Then we have count 2, declaratory relief, NDA voided under common law against Vince McMahon and WWE. We have count 3, violation of TVPA, which is the Trafficking Victims and something act. I can't remember, against McMahon and Laurinaitis. And then we have count 4, participating in venture and violation of TVPA against WWE. Count 5, negligence against WWE. Count 6, civil battery against McMahon and WWE. That's because of what he did to her, right? Even though she said to stop, she's counting it as battery, right?
Well, there was times, when he did physically assault.
Where he was rough, where he was actually extra rough with her.
rough, yeah. And like she
even after she said no,
he was still whacking her, yeah.
Same thing with Laurinaitis. Count 7. We didn't talk about the Laurinaitis.
We didn't get into
about what Vince and Laurinaitis did in the office. Go read the court document.
Because that just got, even for our taste friends, that got a little bit too much.
Like I started reading it and I was just like, oh, okay.
Yeah, it gets a little much reading on that.
Yeah. Count 7, civil battery against Laurinaitis in the WWE. Count 8, intentional or negligent infliction of emotional distress against McMahon and WWE. Count 9, intentional or negligent infliction of emotional distress against Laurinaitis and WWE. Now, here's my problem, Vern, because I notice when it comes to court, and this is the last thing I'm doing about courts, what you're complaining about needs to be specific.
Yep.
If at any point there can be a loophole. The lawyer's going to find it, and then it's going to get it thrown out.
Yep.
So I think what she probably has really is the NDA. All these other ones are just kind of like, what was her name? That was like, I want this person on a lawsuit, The Rock, and this person and that person.
Oh, Raka Khan.
Thank you. She just added a whole bunch to try and make it meaty to try and be like, hey, somebody's going to break me off with something.
Yeah.
She might get the violation of TVPA because technically she was trafficked because when Vince was somewhere else, he was setting up meetings to have sexual encounters. So yes, that's trafficking, allegedly. Because she did against McMahon and Laurinaitis.
By definition, absolutely.
McMahon and Laurinaitis. I think this is where she will now start to then flounder. Because then she starts to go after World Wrestling Entertainment. Because they can then go, we never knew until stuff came out in the news.
Yeah. But she alleges though that
they knew the whole time.
Yeah, because remember the people in the office treated her funny and they looked at her funny and people would whisper. So he's like, clearly people knew about it.
Good sir. Objection. Hearsay.
Yeah.
Done. Count 5. Negligence against WWE. See ya. And she's gonna try and use that same thing you're saying. Count 6. Civil battery against McMahon and WWE. I think she should have just said civil battery against McMahon. I think she says WWE because stuff like that happened in the office. But still, I think when you tack on the conglomerate, that's where stuff can get meddled and mixed up, right?
Yeah.
Then the same one, Laurinaitis and WWE. I think she should have taken that count, put it together, civil battery against Laurinaitis and McMahon. It would have more stand to it. Count 8. She also, with the same thing, intentional or negligent infliction of emotional distress. So let's say, because I feel like she's trying to say that WWE caused her stress. No, Vince and Laurinaitis did for sure, from what you claim. You can't say the company did if the company never knew, and that's what they're going to go with, right? So I say we say all that, Vern, to say this. Well, I say this. We got to wait and see what happens next, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the ultimate
remember,
thing.
as of today, Vince has been charged with nothing.
Nothing.
No one's been served with papers. No one's been snuffed. This has been court documents have been filed, and Vince has denied them vehemently. So as Franny said, all we can do is wait.
All that needs to be done is they need to confiscate Vince McMahon's cellular phone.
Yep.
If he still has them.
Which allegedly, remember, he says that like one of them, he did get rid of one of them. He made her get rid of her phones too.
Okay, so that's why he'll be good, because if he had, because cell phone records, no matter what, I mean, they can still go to the phone company.
Forensics you, yeah.
And then they can see sent and this, and sometimes they can get details. It all depends. I don't know exactly. I'm just going off what I've seen on all the true crime documentaries and shit and stuff I watch. This late, who cares? We're in the 3rd hour. We're letting it fly and stuff like that. So if they get them phone records and it matches what she has, it doesn't matter anything else what he says.
Yeah. I mean, the screenshots are pretty damning. The screenshots in this thing are terrible.
Right. And if the screen, that's what I'm saying, them screenshots match, Vince is what Vince is. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
We might have to change thank you, Vince, to something else for that episode. Vern Bocci. I thought this was going to be a quick one.
Yeah, well, who knew? We were able to, as always, find a conversation where we didn't think we had one.
I never hate it. It's only 2 a.m.
Indeed.
I don't got to show up to work till about 10. I hope they never hear that.
Agreed, right?
Technically, I don't have to show up till 10. I got my evaluation in about 8 hours. So, if I get fired, then, we'll be doing this full time.
In light of that, Franny,
time to wave that pencil.
Wave that pencil.
Got to tune it up. Bing, bing. Still can't find the copyright for the WWE music, the copyright free
Really?
stuff. I don't understand why. Oh. I'm going to have to hound Shay. I'm going to have to.
Gotcha.
So it's time for your boys to head on out of here. It's time to wrap this thing on up. What a crazy episode. What a crazy way to finish our current event episodes.
Yeah, man.
Next time, it's year in review, and we're just going to talk about what we
and hey, there's a couple of big points there, y'all, but I promise y'all for our year in review, I do not expect us to go 9 hours on nonsense. We're going to have a little bit of fun, a little brevity, a little lightness. Talk
Little
about the things we
alcohol.
like, little alcohol, and we'll
We're outta
have a
here.
good night, man.
That's right. So, with all that being said, like I just said, for my man Vernon Somoza, touch it, touch it, touch it. Oh, that was right here. I am Frank Champion. I am me. It's still there. He is him. We are they. Say peace, Vern.
Peace, Vern.
And we're out of here.